Alrighty.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Eagles Uncensored. I'm your host, AK Eagles, and I'm here with my good friend Tyler. Tyler, what's up? Say hello to everyone. Tell them where they
How you
can
guys
find you
doing
and what you
today?
do, bud.
I make sports content. I try and focus more on Philly stuff, but I also talk about other stuff as well, from major news happening with anywhere from international football to baseball, all the way to football, and our beloved Eagles.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't forget about those Eagles, man.
Yes, beautiful. Those rascal old Eagles, I tell you what.
Yo, seriously, man, I want us to bring the Kelly Green back.
I love the
Uh,
Kelly Greens uniforms. They're so beautiful.
right? I'm really getting tired of the dark green here. Let's go
You know what?
bright again,
I
bright
don't
and big.
I don't know if I'll ever truly get tired of like the dark green or the midnight greens. It's one of those things that because I grew up with it in my childhood, it's just so iconic to me.
Yeah,
But I've also just loved the Kelly Green uniforms myself. It's just I love. Oh, well, this is my live stream now apparently. So hi guys, welcome to the Tyler Show, where apparently I take over AK's stream, and he I don't know where he went. So this is just the show now. You can look at my beautiful walls and the ceiling. Hmm. Let's see what happened to him. Oh. Slowly loading. Ah, there he
yo,
is.
I got kicked out of my own stream. The
How
dang
did
thing
you
just kicked me
manage to
out.
do that?
I'm sitting here talking, and next thing you know, the stream just goes away. Everything goes down. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, once the moment you're talking, next thing I know, it just puts me to widescreen. I'm going,
Yo, I'd have no idea what's going on with that, man. That was ridiculous. I'm gonna
StreamYard.
apologize to
StreamYard's
everyone.
just great.
What's going on, Slay? Thanks for
He's
stopping
like,
by, buddy. I appreciate it. But yeah, tell me again, what were you saying about Kelly? I
yeah,
missed the
it's
end there.
yeah, no, it's just, like I also just 100% love the Kelly Green uniforms. That I just love that kind of shade of green, and I just love the throwback look.
Yeah. No, I grew up with Kelly Green, and I don't mean like when I say I'm just tired of it, I don't mean like I want it gone.
Mhm.
I like the college mentality, and I think that we should adapt that into the NFL where we could have multiple uniforms every year. That way,
Yeah,
every team can, have multiple uniforms every year,
honestly,
and they can display their old uniforms from the
yeah.
1940s. They can wear, retro, whatever the hell they
Well,
want. They
except for the
can do
Buccaneers, I hated those. I hate those old Buccaneers jerseys. They just
it. They were
disgust
pretty
me.
stupid.
Yeah, but honestly, I kind of wish that instead of like having the white jerseys of the way, and maybe try and incorporate the Kelly Green there, because
Hmm.
like I get like I think it's standard for most of the league uses white jerseys for their away ones, but having like the midnight green for at home, and then be able to see Kelly Greens when you're away, so no matter what, you still have that green showing off, and
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah,
the jersey of today, then the jersey of tomorrow thing going on. I think that could be pretty cool, but
yeah. No, I saw I actually think Philly 500 had one on his cover of one of his channels. It
oh,
was
yeah.
the all white with the Kelly green, and then the white helmet with the Kelly green
Ooh, let's try.
wings on. Like that
Ooh,
that was pretty nice. I never thought of a white helmet being nice, but that it was pretty sweet. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. It's on one of his covers with Miles
shit.
Sanders,
Who
and
was it again?
it's Philly 500. But I think it's like 3 or 4 videos down because he just put it out like a couple days ago, and it has Miles Sanders on it in these uniforms, and it's with the Kelly green and
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Oh, that actually does look really nice.
Right? Like I
That
never
looks
thought
so
a white
nice.
helmet with that would be nice, but that's pretty sweet. I actually like the way that looks. So I was like, that could definitely be a direction we could go because it's still got the old school feel to it, but
Yeah.
it's like new gen feeling, you know.
Yeah.
Those are
That
pretty
that
sweet.
actually looks really nice. I do like that a lot.
Yeah. So, and that's what got me thinking about it again when I saw that because I was like, man, I really miss those jerseys. They were nice. A lot of people feel that way too. A lot of people want
Yeah.
them back.
Well, I think that's why it's always like one of the most go-to things for what they want the Eagles to wear whenever they have the chance to wear an alternate uni. Like, don't get me wrong, the midnight black unis are iconic, but they'll never be more iconic than the Kelly Greens.
Yo, what did you feel about the baby blue yellow ones?
The baby
You know
blue
which ones I'm
yellow
talking
ones.
about? They were the ones we wore. I want to
Oh,
say
I think
like
I know which one you're
about
talking about.
the ones we wore. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
powder
those ones.
blue and yellow and
Honestly, like I'm not the biggest fan of them with the modern uniforms. I'm sure they looked a lot better when they had less the leather head, the leather helmet and like that style. But with the padding and the new age helmet, it just doesn't work for me.
dude, we look like a bunch of cotton candy running around out there.
Yeah,
Like, no
it's
lie. I mean, they're
yeah,
cool looking. They're cool looking, but honestly, bro, if you think about it, that says nothing about us. Like,
yeah,
we
no,
are not like I said, I liked them. They were cool, but the Kellers, everything, it just didn't say us at all.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
but
glad we only wear those once every 5 years.
yeah, because if you look at it on like a modern uniform compared to the old classic uniforms, it's like it looks so much better because the leather helmet with the
Yeah,
just leather, all that stuff, and no padding, like it looks a lot better in that instance. But when you have all the padding on and then this giant steel looking helmet, it looks completely like it's in the wrong era.
yeah, yeah. So let's talk about Nick Mullins, man. Let's
Ah,
dive
yeah,
into this shit. Because I put that video out last week about Jamie Newman getting released. Pissed me off,
yep,
but they made up for it with Nick Mullins. So I like it. Now, whenever we signed him, I was in Joe Castro's stream at the time. There was a lot of Eagle fans who really don't like this guy.
yeah.
I'll be honest, and I don't understand why. I mean, in
I
13
mean, I
games,
think
dude, he started. He threw
yeah,
for what, 4,000 yards, 25
yeah.
TDs,
I actually
22
was anticipating
touchdowns.
this topic coming up, so I pulled up the PFR of it. But yeah, like in his
Yeah,
last season alone, he threw for just a little bit under 2,500 yards. In his first year in the league, when he played was it he when he played 8 games, he threw for
8 games.
2,000, just a little shy of 2,300 yards. So like
Yeah,
he's definitely getting yardage, but I think the record also comes into play. And if you also look at that game in particular against the Eagles last season, where honestly, I feel like the 49ers could have won that game if they had Garoppolo because Mullins played
yeah,
terrible. Like,
yeah.
he just did not handle the ball well. He was very bad at just coughing it up to the
Yeah,
defenders.
but let's be honest though, bro, too. That's not all on him. Even though we
No, that's
sucked
not.
as a fucking team, our defensive line was nasty last year. What were we? Second, third in sacks
I do not
in the
remember off the
NFL?
top of my head.
Yeah, like we were in the top 3 in sacks. So it's like we might have been collectively shitty,
Mhm.
but our
But that
defensive
defense
line
line
were
done
doing
well.
what they were supposed to do. I mean,
Yep.
they were getting after it. So, he had a hell of a time because our defensive line was fucking solid. Like that was
Well,
the only
yeah,
good
that
thing
is
about
true.
our whole
That is
team.
definitely true. But another thing I do also want to point out, though, is like he threw, what was it, 2 or 3 picks against us in that game.
Yeah. No, his interceptions he definitely needs to work
Yeah.
on. But that
I
is why
think,
he's a backup.
yeah,
We're
but I
not
think
paying
that
him to
also
come
comes
in and
down
start.
to why a lot of people aren't that happy with it. Is because so far
Yeah.
it looks like this is a trend where he has a bad case of turning over the ball. Like when he throws the ball, like he can sling it forward. Like in his first year, he threw a ball for a long of 85. Last season, for 49. So he can throw the ball like fairly deep, but
Yeah.
it's just he doesn't seem to either have the accuracy or he isn't reading the defense well enough to make sure he's taking care of the ball. And now, whether that's something that can be improved upon with this new coaching staff, we hopefully won't have to find out because we'll hopefully have Hurts all season. But
Oh yeah, for sure. And them releasing Jamie Newman and picking him up,
yeah,
that tells me right there that this offense, if coaching staff feels that they can work with him and they
well,
feel
my
he's a
question
better option.
is, how much longer did we have on Newman's contract, and how long do we have Mullins for?
I don't know what Newman's contract was for. I know he was an undrafted free agent. I know he was cheap as shit. We
Yeah.
weren't paying him hardly anything. Mullins, I don't know. Has his details of his contract even came out yet?
Oh, let's
I
find.
just know it's a 1-year deal. That's all I know.
Yeah, so 1 year deal for 750,000. So I think that's the league minimum.
Yeah. So I mean, Jamie Newman was probably, I'd say 150.
Let's see.
As an undrafted free agent, I wouldn't say he's too much. 250 maybe, 150, 250 in there.
So Jamie Newman's contract was. Oh my goodness. Okay. He had apparently signed a 3-year contract and that was going to total up to $2,425. So, at about 808,000 per year. So, yeah. So, Nick Mullins was definitely a little bit more. Now, I think the bigger thing that comes down to is, would you rather have Nick Mullins over Jamie Newman? Like if
you can't ask me that.
Yeah.
You can't ask me that, dude. Oh no. Yeah, I would. And the only reason that I say that, man, is Jamie Newman's upside. Like, we don't even know what that is. We have no idea what potential this kid has. I mean, we've seen what he did in Wake Forest 1 year. He was supposed to transfer to the SEC this past year and play. And unfortunately, with COVID and everything, he opted out. But let's not act like he was not in the conversation for being in the top 10 of these quarterbacks at the time, because he was. I mean, yeah, it's just Wake Forest. Who'd he play? But he lit it up when he played. That's the point. I mean, he's Jalen Hurts, just maybe with a slightly stronger arm. Maybe.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's the same guy,
Yeah.
Nick Mullins, yeah, he can.
I feel like Nick Mullins is more there because I think it's one of those things where it's kind of like the problem we have with the running core and Boston Scott specifically, because I know me and Mitch, we've addressed that problem a couple of times, but having a player that does something exactly that you already have pieces that you're definitely not getting rid of do, So I think the problem with Nick Mullins is that if he was so similar to Hurts, then why hold on to him when you are starting Hurts, I think that was the main drive behind the decision, maybe on top of trying to save a little bit more cap room. And I'm thinking,
to be honest, I think Newman was a threat to Flacco. That's why they let him go. I think Flacco bitched enough because let's all be honest. Jamie Newman.
He's definitely a little bit of a. I'm sure he can be a little bit of a locker room drama when things don't. When he seems to have his job on the line, but it's one of those things where if they truly believed Nick Mullins was going to be that big of a threat, then I don't know why they would cut him and either force or just why not just force Joe Flacco to prove that he deserves to be the number 2, or have him become the number 3 if Nick Mullins was as good as was as Wake Forest. I think it comes down to either A, they didn't exactly like what they were seeing out of him, and they decided that it'd be just better to save the cap, or I think it could have just been that they didn't want just another Jalen Hurts 2.0. They wanted someone who'd bring something different to the table, which is what they see in Jamie Newman with his, potential big arm.
Yeah. Well, and in all honesty, I put that in my video. I said, who knows? I said maybe while he was out there at camp, he had accuracy issues.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he didn't pick
kind of
up
like
the
what Tagovailoa is having right
now. Right? But maybe he didn't pick up the playbook fast enough. Maybe they didn't feel that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But all I know is that they jumped very fast to sign this kid.
Yep.
Which obviously means they wanted him. And they gave him a 3-year deal, which means they wanted him.
But I think that was also what the last coaching staff wanted, though. Like, was it specifically this staff that signed him, or was that the last staff?
No, he got drafted this year. He was in this draft. We got him the day after.
Yeah, unfortunately, we might never know what exactly was the driving force behind it, but
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully
it's definitely a head scratcher,
Yeah, but you know what? Hopefully, he'll find something. He definitely has talent, so hopefully he'll be able to find something to do.
I'm surprised no one's picked him up yet.
Well, I think there's not exactly a lot of teams that exactly need another quarterback. I think the very few teams that needed them already have ones lined up. I think the Broncos might be the only.
I know you have Tyrod Taylor in Houston, correct? Tyrod's in Houston right now?
Yes. No.
Yeah.
Maybe? Hold on.
Okay. If Tyrod is in Houston, now I know Houston took a quarterback in like the 3rd round with their first pick that they had or whatever. Mm-hmm. I know they did take a quarterback, but he wouldn't be a bad option.
He is on the Houston Texans.
Okay. So I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing for him to go to the Texans and give a shot there. God, is
Tyrod Taylor the cuckening part 11 at this point?
Yeah.
My goodness. Poor Tyrod.
I mean, he could go to Washington, dude, and challenge Fitz.
Mm-hmm. Now, do we know for a fact that Fitz is going to be the starter? Because I do know that they really like that the guy they had playing that playoff game for him.
Heinicke?
Yeah, Heinicke. And honestly, because I did watch a couple of the
XFL I know they signed him to like a 3-year deal or something like that.
I don't know if you've watched the XFL or not, but even the XFL, Heinicke was pretty impressive, and obviously he impressed the Washington football team enough for them to sign him. But he also played pretty well against the future Super Bowl winning team, Buccaneers.
Yeah.
So I think everyone's just assuming Fitz is going to be a starter, but I don't think it's as cut and dry as that. I think there's going to be actual competition there.
No, and I agree. I believe there is going to be competition there, but I also do know that Fitz wanted to go to a team where he could start. So I don't think he would have went to Washington without knowing 100% he was going to at least start. And who knows, maybe Ron told him exactly what, that they did in Miami. Maybe he was like, listen, I'll start you. Mm-hmm. But if you fuck this up, I'm putting
the young gun.
Yeah, and Heinicke's probably just sitting there like, I'm fine with that because Fitzmagic always ends up fucking up, So he's probably cool.
It's always revealed what's behind the curtain.
Yeah, but that's why that kind of pissed me off about Flacco, because when Washington got Fitz, I wanted Fitz to come and be Hurts's backup. I thought Fitz would be an excellent mentor for him, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's 40 years old, still putting his shoulder into people. Getting dirty with it out there on the football field. He would have been excellent to teach Hurts what he needed to know. And not just that, but he's been in, 18 different offenses?
Yeah, I think he's played for a third of the league at this point, at least.
Yeah. So he knows offenses, man. He's seen it all. Yep. Everything.
But I think
there's no one better than Fitz.
I think that's exactly why you didn't want to come here, is because I think if he knew that if he did sign here, he would have no chance at becoming the starter. That's probably exactly why he didn't want to come.
Yep, and that's why he went to Washington, because they got rid of Haskins last year.
Yep.
And Smith retired. He was like, hey, there's no one there. I can go in and just play. And that's what he's doing.
And now I do actually want to ask you this. So speaking of Dwayne Haskins, got picked up by the Steelers this past offseason. Do you think he's going to actually be their potential Big Ben replacement if this is his last year there? Or do you think that this is more of a experiment just to see if he was as bad as, if he's going to continue to be as bad as there as he was in Washington?
All right. So I heard some rumors, I'd say about a day or two ago. I don't know if you've seen the article that Big Ben came out and he was like, yo, he's got an arm. He's actually really good.
I saw that.
How he's been looking so great and everything. Okay, I'm calling complete bullshit on that shit right now.
Yeah.
Because you don't change in fucking 6 months. I'm sorry. You can't tell me where Haskins was in Washington, he can be that good now. I get it. You can climb. You can work. You can
but
do
that
it,
takes years and years of practice.
Come on, bro. 6 months? You're telling me this kid dramatically changed that much in 6 months that you're like, so I'm not sold on him,
Yeah.
I don't know. That one's tough.
Yeah.
I don't see him being anything, honestly. I don't. I mean, he might be the starter next year for him when he retires. But do I see him being anything after that? Probably not. But who knows, man? Pittsburgh's really good at fucking developing quarterbacks, too. So who knows? They could fucking turn this kid into a whiz. I have no idea.
I'm trying to think, because they had Big Ben for the past couple of years, and then after that, it's really been nothing but a resolving door behind the backups and backup section, because they never truly needed a backup quarterback because they've had Ben. But also look at the backup quarterbacks and what's happened to them. They just haven't done anything. Doug Hodges, that dude's never gonna truly make it in the NFL.
And you know what's funny about that dude is everyone in Pittsburgh fucking loved him when he came in and stepped in for the dude. They were like, "Oh, Hodges, it looks like Ben younger."
Yeah, because that team almost dragged itself to playoffs while missing their biggest piece on offense. That's definitely commendable. But then he started to play like crap.
Yeah, no. He's not, whether you want to, I get it. Everyone in Pittsburgh is worried at this point because my wife's a Pittsburgh fan. So, I live with that. Yeah. So, trust me, but she's a more reasonable Pittsburgh fan. She'll literally tell
Pittsburgh fans? I've never met one.
Yeah, of course. Well, see, she's originally from Alaska. She's not from Pennsylvania, so
that explains it
then. She's reasonable because she's never lived in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, see, I lived out in Pittsburgh for a year and a half. I never once met a reasonable Penguins fan, a reasonable Steelers fan, and they just given up with the Pirates. I'm not even going to bring them up.
No lie, dude. She looked at me when they lost AB and Bell, and she's like, "We're going to be shit." They weren't. They weren't, but she was like, "We're going to be shit now." Fucking awesome. Way to ruin my team. She was all disappointed about it. Because she knows a lot about them. She watches football. She pays attention to it just like I do. So, it really hurt her. But then once she realized, oh, we're really not that bad, she was like, okay, But last year, when they started 11-0, she was like, what the fuck is going on? She's like, this is not happening. She's like, they're going to lose it. She's like, this is no. And they eventually
overachieving a little bit.
Yeah, and they eventually did, and then she got all depressed because she's like, see, they fucking do this all the time. They get you all hyped up, and then they come in and they blow it somehow. They blow the load somewhere all over you, and there's nothing you can fucking do about it. And that's exactly what they did.
When I was out in Pittsburgh, it's because, see, when I went to college there, I did it the season. It was the season that the Steelers blew up, the 2017-2018 season.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it or was whatever season was the one where AB just completely went completely off the rails, and Le'Veon decided to say, "Nah, I don't need y'all." That was when I got to live in Pittsburgh, and I got to just sink in with all the misery they had, especially when all of them kept telling me, one of the few Eagles fans out there, how the Eagles won't win the Super Bowl. It's Tom Brady. Tom Brady would never lose to the Eagles. It's gonna be
Tom Brady has only ever lost to the NFC East. For anyone out there who doesn't know that, Tom Brady's 3 losses came to us. So fuck.
Oh, and don't also forget about this cool little statistic that a backup quarterback that started in the Super Bowl has always won.
Yeah.
That was a real cool stat to learn about because this happens so few times, and when it does happen, it's like,
yeah. But yeah, all you divisions out there, just remember that he's only ever lost to us. So go fuck yourselves. I like that.
It's a great stat.
And honestly, you know something else that we can honestly hang our heads about too? Proudly? I believe we're the only division that has every team having a Super Bowl. Am I correct? We all 4 have one. I don't think there's another division out there that has 4 teams with each having a Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure.
I'm trying to think, because what are the teams that don't have a Super Bowl? It's the Browns,
Dolphins, the Browns, Jacksonville, Indy.
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 Tennessee.
Tennessee. Come on. Slay, help us out here, dude. I know you're in here. I see you watching. Who are we missing here?
Chargers? I don't think the Chargers have won.
The Dolphins. Oh, the Dolphins have a Super Bowl, and so do the Colts. Really?
Wait, do the Dolphins actually have a Super Bowl? I know they made it to the Super Bowl. I don't think they won one though.
You're right though about the Colts, but that was before my time, I think.
Oh, excuse me. They won the NFL championships back in the 70s. But I think that was before it was called the Super Bowl, though.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't count. Dude, our championships don't count.
True.
You can't count that.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, how many would we have? 5?
It's something like that.
All right, so you got the Lions, Chargers, Jags, and Browns. There's more than that, though, dude.
Yeah.
Lions is one of them. Chargers is one.
The Colts have won one.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure, dude, we're the only division to have all 4 teams.
Huh. I don't know.
Which is cool. That's a nice stat to have.
Let me look at the AFC West.
Arizona, they have one, yeah.
No, I don't think Arizona won the Super Bowl, did they?
They didn't ever win with Palmer?
No, I know they made it to it, but I think they lost to the Steelers.
Okay. Well, then Arizona probably doesn't have one.
The Raiders, I believe.
There's one. The Panthers. Yeah, Panthers and Cardinals. So the Panthers, Cardinals, Lions, Chargers, Jags, and Browns.
Yeah, no, I think you might actually be right then.
Because us, because us winning in 17, we were the 17, but we won.
How cool we forget about the Falcons?
Yeah, and the Falcons. So there was
the Vikings.
And the Vikings. Yeah. Wow. Seriously?
Yeah.
So there's 9 teams yet that don't have a Super Bowl?
Yeah. I do not believe the Vikings ever won a Super Bowl, which is crazy considering, all the amazing players they've had on their team.
Right. The Bills, too. You forgot Buffalo. Yeah, dude. So, yeah, we're like the only division with every team that has a Super Bowl. That's fucking awesome.
Wow.
So you can give a shit for being shitty all you fucking want. We have a right to be. We all have fucking Super Bowls. Talk shit, motherfuckers.
NFC East best division can confirm.
Yeah, there you go.
Listen, man, because Buffalo's actually good right now, so it's like, how much longer can that stay true?
And I think Buffalo has been good in the past too.
Yeah,
So
but this is like, I think they're starting to
that
get to
was
like
before
peak.
me. Yeah, that was like before me even. So
Yeah,
and you have to remember, Slay, some of these teams go fucking way back, like way back. So
and apparently we were wrong about the Dolphins. It was considered in 1974 Super Bowl. So
yeah,
the
well
Dolphins
that
do have.
was a 16-0 season. They went undefeated.
Yep.
They're the only team to ever go undefeated.
And ironically, the Dolphins actually beat the Vikings in 1974 for that Super Bowl.
That's awesome. That is completely awesome.
Oh my God! Wait, the Vikings haven't reached the Super Bowl since 1977. Oh God! Oh, that hurts. Jesus.
Bro, to be honest, Slay, in the 90s, it all depends on which part in the 90s. I would have been like 4, 5, 6. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
I wasn't even around
I
till like
was watching
90s.
football, but I wasn't watching football like I do now.
You were just watching the pretty colors on the screen.
Yeah. Like I knew who Cunningham was, you know, I knew who Carmichael was, I knew who Reggie White was, but in all I didn't really care, I guess, like I do now, you know. But hey, Rodgers, go.
You want to talk about Aaron Rodgers?
No, Richard Rodgers. We'll get to Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Richard Rodgers.
Want to talk about Richard Rodgers?
Yeah. You like it?
What happened to Mr. Richard Rodgers?
We signed him back.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Long day, I get it.
Yeah, long day on top of, like, they've just been signing a lot of, like, you know, the rotation pieces and practice squad players. So, like, it's been just so many to try and keep up with. But, no, Richard Rodgers, that's the, everybody's going to look. Wow, big play Slay with a big play prediction.
You really think that you really think that they're both just going to get back to the Super Bowl, huh?
So I think there's exactly two teams that's going to stop the Chiefs from getting to the Super Bowl. That's going to be the Bills and the Browns, because I really do think the Browns have a good shot at making it Super Bowl run this year. And the Bills have just a great core. Although the Titans, I think, are definitely
saying that shit.
Yeah, and the Titans, they just have like some of the scariest offensive pieces you could have. So I hate to be teams trying to play the Titans because it's hard to figure out a game plan because you can't just load up the box and try to stop King Henry anymore. Now you got to try and stop King Henry, stop A.J. Brown, and stop Julio Jones. So it's
and also don't forget about Arizona. Fucking Hopkins and A.J. Green now.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to see how A.J. Green performs, considering he is he's in a similar situation as Julio, where he's in his 30s and he's coming off an injury from the prior season. While DeAndre
it's going to be much easier, dude. Hopkins is going to take all the double teams. I mean, you still have to double team Hopkins, whether you don't want to or not.
Yeah,
if you go one-on-one with AJ and Hopkins, they're both going to kill you. So you either double team Hopkins and take your chances with AJ, or you know what I mean?
I got you. It's just Arizona's interesting for me because they sign good players, but
They got J.J. Watt too.
towards
Don't
their
forget.
twilight years of their prime. Like J.J. Watt, like he's still feasting, but again, getting into his mid-30s, and in football time, that is ancient, and
Yeah.
it becomes a question of how long can he keep up that pace. Then you got A.J. Green, again, 30s, coming off an injury, and especially I think it was a leg injury if I remember correctly, which is almost a death sentence for wide receivers coming to a late part of their careers. And it's odd because if you had like those two pieces like a couple of years ago, then you could honestly call them like Super Bowl contenders right then and there, because that would be a unstoppable offense and defensive combo. But because it's it feels like they're starting to revert back to the retirement home meme that they were known for a good couple of years. But I don't know. It's all going to come down to like a big year for their head coach, I feel.
Yeah, no, Arizona's definitely got a really good defense too. Like,
yeah,
I'm jealous of their defense because they're fast and they hit hard, and that's kind of what I've want our defensive to do for the last 3 years, but we can't seem to get it right. So,
why do that when you could just throw big men into the opposing line?
Yeah,
big meaty men.
Yo, I gotta tell you this real quick, bro. So
let me see this.
Yo, so me and Mitch, we had our stream the other day, right? I was talking with him. Yo, he made a face. You have to go back and watch the stream. Motherfucker looked like Doogie Howser. Yo, he lost his shit. Tyler, pause.
But I do want to go about talk about one big play Slay here. So yes, they did improve their O-line by trading for Orlando Brown, but it all comes down to, does the O-line stay healthy? Because a lot of their playbook is based around mid to deep passing. And while they do have a pretty good running back, I believe it's Mecole Hardman, if I'm not mistaken, for the Chiefs.
Yes.
Like, Mecole Hardman is definitely a good running back.
But running back for the Chiefs? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. No, it's Sinclair.
Okay.
Hyde Sinclair. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking Mecole Hardman, but
no, Hardman's their wide receiver though.
Oh my God. That kind of feels worse for me, but I swear I know a little bit about football. But yeah, I don't know. They have a good running back, but it's gonna start to be that problem again with Andy Reid, where he prefers long range passing. And to do that, you have to have a healthy O-line that can block long enough for the routes to develop. And when your O-line gets shredded on your way to the Super Bowl like it did, you can't do that, especially against a stacked defense like the Chiefs had. Whatever, Mitchell. But I think it all comes down to the strength of that O-line and how healthy they stay throughout the year. Because, again, just an unhealthy O-line and Andy Reid's less than spectacular ability to adjust his game plan. It's not good.
Oh, he's calling you out, Mitch.
Oh, shit.
It's about to go down.
Oh, no, we're about to get a bloodbath. Celebrity deathmatch.
Finish him.
Round 3. Fight.
No, but hey, and I mean, let's all be honest too, dude. We all know that fucking Kansas City was playing with backup linemen in that Super Bowl. So they did not do a bad fucking job. I mean,
well,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think that's
but
necessarily fair to say that. I really don't, especially when you look at like Patrick Mahomes. Honestly, played his absolute heart out, and
Oh
When
yeah,
you see
yeah.
your number one target, your number one wide receiver,
Yeah,
you
what's good,
chuck
Josh?
that ball deep on an almost impossible play, and it just goes doink off his face mask.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude, that was the
Mahomes played
craziest. That
insane,
was the
but the rest of the
craziest
team let him
throw.
down.
That was the craziest throw. I've
Yeah,
never in my life seen a throw like that, and they even
he's
come close to
yeah,
completing it.
but it's like one of those things where he was playing his absolute heart out. He's doing everything he can to at least get his team the touchdown, but his teammates just were all completely off. You know, you got your main security blanket, Kelsey, dropping it. You got your number one wideout dropping passes that are directly towards his face.
We are trying to do a fucking show here, man.
God, Mitchell, no professionalism. God.
You just have to come in and fuck it all up.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a year for redemption for them, and I do think they could win the Super Bowl this year. But it's just for me, they have three major roadblocks going through the AFC, and Tennessee, the Bills, and the Browns. Those are the biggest roadblocks on their way to the Super Bowl for me.
Yeah. No, whoever thought we'd be fucking sitting here talking about the goddamn Browns? Like,
I
how ironic.
know. It's crazy. 2020 really fucked up
Wait
the
a second,
timeline.
So let's get this correct. The Bills and the fucking Browns are the roadblock for the fucking Kansas City Chiefs to get back
With
to the
literal Jesus playing on their team, yes. Listen,
Wow.
you can't
This is
look at half
crazy.
the crap he does and not say there is not something else at play. That's not possible.
And also, too, think about this. Jacksonville might have their first offensive rookie of the year in a long fucking time.
That is true. That is true.
That's another fucking thing that's
See,
going to blow my mind.
I am very curious to see how Trevor Lawrence does playing with the Jags, considering he's coming from Clemson. And, you know, Clemson's team was pretty good throughout his entire tenure there. So I'm curious how he's going to go from going to one of the best teams in college football to one of the worst teams in the NFL. Like, I get he's supposed to be a trendsetting talent and everything, but I'm curious to see how that translates when he doesn't have the pieces he needs.
No, I agree, man. We had 14 different lineups, but you have to look at it this way, though. And the only reason I give those guys credit, I give our guys hella credit. Like, our offensive line was like Herbig, Driscoll, like, mad respect to them dudes. I fucking hope the best for them. I want to see them definitely take over, you know, eventually someday. But what you have to understand is these guys came in the biggest game of the year. Like the Super Bowl. Like they didn't play all fucking year long. These guys get injured and then 2 weeks later they're playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's gotta fucking be hard. We're talking regular season for us. You know, this is the biggest game of the fucking year and you're just thrown into it. That is shit tons of pressure. Like
yeah. It's one of those things where think about it this way, like what if, you know, it's back in 2017, the Eagles are on their run, and then, like, during the Vikings game or the game after that, they just lost Kelsey, they lost Brooks, and they can't play the Super Bowl. Like, that's, like, really major, especially 100%. When you're losing your starters like that.
Yeah, and you know, having Dickerson only solidifies that a little bit more too.
Did Dickerson sign his contract yet? Because I didn't see any news about that yet.
Not yet.
Interesting.
But no, I mean, I give our rookies on our offensive line all the credit in the world. I do. Like Mailata, fucking monster, man.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
I'm so
I
happy
don't
to
know
see
how
this.
far, dude. If you asked me, did this dude play football 5 years ago? I'd be like, I'd have to say yeah, because I mean, he made me a believer last year. He did a hell of a job. You know, it's amazing that he's only been playing 5 years. Like that makes me say, hey Dillard, what the fuck's your problem? Like, you've been playing for fucking what?
Hey, everybody's already bullied him off of social media. Leave him alone.
No, but that's a valid question, though, man. Come on.
Yeah,
There's a
when
dude
you're
only
when
playing
you're a
five
first round
fucking
pick, there's
years,
definitely
and
some
you've
high
been playing your
expectations of
whole
you.
life.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not bullying him. I don't care. I hope the best for him. Anyone on
Yeah.
this team, I hope the best for. But goddamn, dude, he's only been playing 5 fucking years. Like, you gonna let him do that to you? But no, I mean, Dickerson's a fucking monster. If I was the Eagles, man, I would be putting Dickerson left guard, right
Yeah.
next to my Laura.
Yeah.
And then I'd have Kelsey in the middle with Brooks and Johnson. That would be
I'm
my
actually curious to
offensive
see if they're
line.
going to actually try and put Dickerson in the middle as their, so this way they can maybe have him be Kelsey's replacement for when he does retire. Because gotta keep in mind the guy's like, what is he right now? 35, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Let me double check that.
Oh, I'd let him finish out the year.
Oh yeah, definitely let him phase us out the year, but I think I would also make sure that you're at least getting him snaps in practice.
Yeah. And I'm sure Stoutland will take
he's
care of all that, man. Is he? Yeah. No, I'm sure Stoutland will take care of all that, dude. Out of all these coaches that we have, dude, Stoutland's the one I 100% trust. Like there is no. You ask me, I don't bat an eye. Like he will have these guys ready, so I'm not worried about our O line at all.
But like our O line has usually been like pretty good, especially over the past good amount of years. But yeah, that's why I'm because I know Kelsey even said like it's not going to be a big surprise when he does retire because he will let people know like, hey, this is my last year, so this way it's not going to be a surprise like the Cowboys had from their star center.
Oh, I'm dead sure, dude, that this is it after this year. Like he's done.
I at least hope that we can at least try and make another playoff push for him. Maybe I doubt it's going to be the Cardinals, but maybe try and get him one more ring before he leaves. Gonna take the sign.
I like that. That's a good way to put it. He's got the poison pill. I like it. Yep. No, dude, I would love to get Kelsey a second ring. I mean, everyone
deserves it.
The one that deserves it. Yeah, and he deserves it. Like mad respect to that guy. He has done so much for us, man. So much. So, what do you let's talk about our CB2 here. Obviously, with us signing Richard, we're going to be trading Ertz here soon. I mean, I really expect that. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. And I'm okay with the Richard signing because, like I said, give me someone who can kind of produce like Ertz or give me similar production.
Yeah, that's like
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it because he was he was a good rotational piece for us last season. Do I think that's necessarily going to mean they're trading Ertz? I'm not so sure about it because again, he was a good rotational piece for you. So signing him, no matter what, is the right move because either he's going to be an okay number 2 for you if Ertz does leave, or he'll still be a good rotational player that can also fill in if one of your top 2 tight ends gets injured in the season and if you keep Ertz. So no matter what, it's a good move. It's not going to be a major cap hit on you either because his contract's going to be relatively expensive compared to talent to money kind of thing. So I just think it's a smart overall move.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 98% sure he's gone before the year.
I'm starting to come to terms with it, but I'm not happy with it.
No, none of us are. I mean, I'm pretty sure every Eagle fan will tell you that, Ertz holds a special place in everyone's heart, whether you don't fully like the way the man plays or not, he's been our reliable target 100% for the last 5 years. I mean, he is our safety net.
Mm-hmm.
So, now it's time, and Goddard's got some big shoes to fill. I mean, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
It's not gonna be easy for him, but
especially because I believe this is either his second to last or his final year of his rookie deal. And so, if ever there was a time you wanted to truly see what Goddard had and to see if he is going to be your future tight end one, like, it would be the time to do it.
Yeah, no, you need to, because like you said, his contract's up at the end of this year here, and he's going to want to get paid. You need to see what he's worth. I'm not worried about him. I think he's going to be awesome. I see a lot of Kittle and Goddard. The only difference is he's got to ease up on his fumbles.
Yeah.
If he can lock the ball in a little better and ease up on the fumbles and get his fumbles down, he's going to be awesome. I mean, he's everything that we want. He's definitely a yak yard receiver. As a tight end, he loves contact. The kid never shies away from it. He'll always put his head down and run you over. So I mean, he's got it. He just needs to hold on to it. And if he can do that, it'll be good. But yeah. Hey, what's your take on Aaron Rodgers, real quick?
Ooh,
I want to hear you.
Yes. So Aaron Rodgers is the most interesting case this offseason, I feel. It's because there's so many different things that can happen just from this. That this could either be last season, could have been his last season. He could just full on retire and say, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to play football anymore. I'm tired of being disrespected by my front office, and I don't want to leave Green Bay, so I'm just going to call it a career here. He could choose to move out closer to California, because I know he still has family over in that area, so he might want to try and live closer to them, so he could potentially go to a team in the West Coast. I know I also saw some rumors online about him potentially going to the Raiders, and I think the Raiders would love to get Aaron Rodgers there to try and boost those ticket sales. They got a brand new stadium. They couldn't have people in it all last season. They need to try and get that money back since, they spent a lot on a stadium and they had no way to make it back besides TV revenue. Yeah. And it's like, there's just so many different things. There's so many different places he could go. It's a crapshoot at this point. Like, no one will truly know except him.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, kind of almost feels like the Carson Wentz scenario in Green Bay a little bit, because in all honesty, my stepson's a Green Bay fan. I know, I'm all over here.
That's a weird-ass house you live in, friend.
My other stepson's a Tampa Bay fan.
What is...
Yo, I can't choose it for him. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
So we have an Eagles fan. We have a Steelers fan. We have a Buccaneers fan. And we have a Green Bay fan.
A Green Bay fan, yeah.
What, is there a Vikings fan in there?
No, on my mom's side, though, I do have one Dolphins fan, but most of them are all Bears fans. I come from a big Bears family.
Oh, so I'm sure they have lots of fun during the NFL season.
Oh, dude, they haven't been happy for probably 10 years. What are you talking about? No, like my uncle, dude, he has a Herschel Walker uniform hanging up.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, like I told him, I said, bro, you better put encrusted diamonds around that shit, because that's the last good player you're ever gonna fucking have.
We don't talk about the Herschel Walker trade.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but yeah, the Bears. Exactly.
Dabbers.
The Bears, the Bears, the Bears.
Double doink.
No, yeah, the double doink, exactly. No, dude, like they've had a lot of heartbreaks over, but I was a huge Urlacher fan. Like I love Brian Urlacher. You know,
He will definitely be one of the more iconic linebackers as long as you don't look on Twitter.
I go by what he shows on the field, man. I don't care what the fuck he says in real life.
People are entitled to their own opinions.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what you will as long as you ain't trying to, put someone else down over dumbass shit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But no, my take on the Aaron Rodgers thing though, man, is because of that, and I've had long, extensive conversations about it. One, let's all be completely honest. Aaron Rodgers does not need the NFL.
Nope.
The NFL needs him.
Yep.
Like we'll be hands down about that 100. Okay. Green Bay loses Aaron Rodgers, they're no longer a playoff team.
Especially if Jordan Love is doing as bad in practice as the reports are saying.
Yeah. So take that away. Number two, Green Bay is not a normal organization.
No.
They don't have an owner. They have a round table of cheeseheads.
Yep.
Okay. Who have stock shares, who take votes.
Which is definitely the most interesting situation a team could ever be in.
Now, Aaron Rodgers is a god in Wisconsin. I mean, y'all thought Favre was something. Aaron Rodgers topples Favre. Like, there's no comparison, okay? If you think for 1 minute that general manager is going to get over 50% of the people in that room to trade Aaron Rodgers, you're out of your fucking mind.
Well, but unfortunately for the people in the room, it's not their decision, it's his.
The only reason that Aaron Rodgers gets out of Green Bay is because Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay.
Yep.
That is the only fucking way. If Aaron Rodgers looks at them and says, I haven't said shit all summer. Like, I'm just letting y'all talk. Like, I'm here. Now, granted, he's not at practice right now.
Yep, I think he's in Hawaii, isn't he?
Yeah, he just got married. He's enjoying life. He's doing what fucking Aaron Rodgers does, it's one of those things where, first off, he don't need to practice. He's fucking Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's going to be okay whenever, time comes to play ball. He's been in the system for 2 years now. He doesn't need to be there if he doesn't need to be. So we don't honestly know what the hell is going on. All right. But what I can say is the only way he leaves is if he wants to leave.
Yeah.
That is it.
And that's the big question that everyone wants to know is if he does truly want to leave. Because nobody knows that except for Aaron Rodgers. And so that's why it's such the big talk of the town was last year the last straw, and does he truly want out of the organization? Does he even want to keep playing football, or would he rather just, finally settle down, just got married, like you said, spend time with his wife, maybe try and, spend more time?
Something? Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, do you not want the era of Aaron Rodgers coming along someday? Like, who knows?
Yeah.
But the whole point is, though, if they won't let him go, I can totally see him pulling a Marshawn Lynch, retiring and coming back. Like, that's the thing. There's always going to be a way for him to.
I was thinking he would do more like a Carson Palmer, where he would just sit out of the season until they gave him his demands.
Yeah, I mean, he could do that realistically, but I don't think he would. I mean, if he wants to play, he's going to play.
Yep.
But I mean, think about it though. I heard you say about the Raiders. I don't see how that's going to be possible, man. You
Yeah,
got Derek Carr and you got Mariota there. If
yeah,
you
that's
bring in
like
Aaron Rodgers,
in the
they're both
video
gone.
I made about it is I don't know if I cut this part out or not when I published the video, but I wanted to detail about how if they were to try and pursue Aaron Rodgers, in the off case they do, it would probably be a trading involving Derek Carr and then possible draft picks on top of that. To me, because I don't think they would get rid of Mariota, because I
You
feel
don't
like
think so?
Mariota. I don't think so, and even then, I don't know if Green Bay would truly want Mariota. Because with Derek Carr is a solid quarterback, and if Jordan Love's doing as bad as they say, I think they would rather have the guaranteed, solid quarterback over potential
Yeah.
solid quarterback in Marcus Mariota. But I think it would definitely be at least David Carr, and then I'm thinking either a first or second round pick. I think when I was talking about the Broncos, they once again they have a lot of young pieces they can move around. Jeopardy is always an option.
No, well, and that's the thing too, man. You got to think about it. If he would leave the NFL and retire, he can go and full time do Jeopardy,
Mm-hmm.
and that's even more money in his pocket. And I'm telling you what, that's a guaranteed job for the next 20 years for him if
Yeah,
he wants it. And he don't have to worry about all the bullshit politics and shit. He can just
you can
go
just
and
truly relax and just
yeah.
enjoy life.
So I mean, no, retirement is not out of the option either.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
no,
and I think he's kind of proven that by not being there. But like I said, him not being there, don't everyone get into a fucking panic because, like I said, he's been in this offense for 2 years. He's probably not there because he's enjoying being freshly married and he knows this fucking offense like the back of his hand. They've been to the fucking championship game 2 years straight. I mean, that's got to tell you something.
but I
You
also
know,
do think I'm also curious of how much of that is just Aaron Rodgers deadlifting the team compared to
oh,
being a whole
yeah.
team effort.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. That whole team is Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Smith and
Yeah,
Jones. Without those three, they're nothing. And I'm telling you what, if you lose Aaron Rodgers, you're losing Devontae Smith after this year. I'm warning you now. If
oh yeah,
Aaron Rodgers is not playing in Green Bay this year, at the end of this year, Devontae Smith
he won't
will
come back.
not be with Green Bay. 100% guarantee it. Yeah, you fucking heard me, Slay. Don't go, what? Because guess what? It came out of his own mouth, dude. They even asked him, they were like, will you come back to Green Bay if Aaron Rodgers is not here?
Kind of like how Julio.
Yeah, and trust me, he didn't officially come out and say it,
Yeah,
but his
I didn't want.
demeanor
I
and
wasn't
how
gonna
he
correct
said
you,
it pretty much
but
said,
it's Devontae Adams, not Devontae
yeah,
Smith.
oh, sorry, yeah. I was thinking Eagle shit, dude, my bad.
I know.
Devontae Adams. Yeah,
I
Devontae
just wanted to
Adams,
see
my
how
bad.
far this would go.
You're a dick. Anyway, Devontae Adams, sorry.
Listen,
Yeah.
I had it earlier. Now it's
Yeah,
your
hey,
turn.
we each get one. We each get one. So
One
there
for
we go.
each.
Yeah. Hey, and by the way, asshole, only be happy that I'm comparing Devontae Smith to Adams. Like that's a good thing. Just so you know. First off, would you not want me to compare Devontae Smith to Devontae Adams? I mean, would anybody not mind that? What do you mean?
I
Let me
mean,
know.
I
I'm
would
telling
honestly
you.
like it to be a smaller version of Michael Thomas, but
That's cool, Josh. Or Jock. That is cool.
ooh.
Yeah. No, I actually never watched Devontae Smith in college, so that's cool that you
I
got
don't
that.
watch a lot of college football, so I'm just
I
oblivious
fucking
to
did
it
it
all.
again. Devontae Adams. See, I got Smith on my brain, dude. I'm telling you, the kid's gonna go off this year. I'm
Big
always thinking
expected of him.
about him. I know you're joking, Slay. It's all good, buddy. I love busting your balls. That's why I let you keep going.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So cornerback number 2, and with a lot of the drama that's, with veteran players not going to mandatory camps because their contracts are up after this year and they want either a new contract or they want to be traded. So who would you like to have at cornerback 2 for the Eagles, whether it's from free agency or trade? And if it's for a player that you would have to trade for, what would you give up for them?
Well, obviously Nelson. I mean, that's pretty much self-explanatory. Because that's the best one that's on the free market right now, at least for us, I believe.
Now, would you say that he'd be a better fit than Xavier Howard?
Well, see, I was getting to that point.
Yeah.
Now, you want to talk about trading for players? I would love Xavier Howard. Don't get me wrong. I would, but how the fuck are we going to afford that?
True.
I mean, let me put it this way. Are you willing to give up Fletcher Cox for Xavier Howard? Because that's what you would have to do.
I don't think I could live with myself if I let Fletcher Cox go like that.
Would you give up Brandon Brooks for Xavier Howard? Or Lane Johnson for Xavier Howard? Because that's
the Brandon Brooks one would at least interest me because he's coming off of back-to-back years with injuries, and if it's going to start being a trend, if you could potentially trade him off for someone like Xavier Howard, that could be a pretty good trade in the end.
Because you have to think about it. You have to free up cap space.
Yeah.
Because you got to pay this man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we all know the Fletcher Cox thing came out last week or the week before. They're like, well, and people are down for it, because they're like, hey, he is getting older. He is costing us $20 million, blah, blah, blah. I hate personally.
He's also one of the reasons our D-line puts on so much pressure.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see.
Because he has to be always double teamed.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to see Cox go. But I would understand the reasoning for it. Okay.
Yeah.
But let's not lie to ourselves. Fletch would be that missing piece for that Super Bowl defense. I mean, Let's be honest. The Dolphins are pretty decent right now. They do have some missing pieces, but Fletch would definitely fill that missing piece gap. Now,
he fills that piece for literally any team. Like, it doesn't matter how strong that defense is or not. Fletcher Cox is just that much of an impact player because, again, he makes so much room for everywhere else on the defensive line because he gains the most focus from opposing O-linemen because he's that dominant. There's a reason that his sacks aren't as what they once were because he's always on the double team. And when he's not, he feasts on that old lineman is putting pressure on the quarterback.
Well, yeah, and you're right, but that's my point though. To get Howard, you're gonna have to free up cap.
Yeah.
So one of these big name guys has got to go. You have to trade them. Granted, those 3 guys are great options because you want someone that can.
If I did have to trade one of them, if I absolutely had to trade one of them in order to get Howard, I think I would probably consider trading Brooks out of all of them because, like I already said, Brooks is coming off back-to-back seasons where he's been injured. He wasn't able to complete the whole season. And if this point in his career, if that continues, then it's going to be a little bit more of a setback for the O-line than it would be a potential help. And comparing that potential setback to getting someone like Xavier Howard, who's coming off, leading the league in interceptions and being a bona fide stud next to Darius Slay, I think I could live with myself. I love Brandon Brooks to absolute death. I love every one of our offensive linemen. But I think with our young pieces, we could plug someone in at his position and then still see success in our O-line. And then if we get Howard, like our defense just becomes impeccable.
Now let me ask you this before I get on my tangent with this Cox thing.
Okay.
Who would you put in there in place for Brooks if you had to get rid of him? Now, granted, you can put Dickerson there.
That's why I was
play
thinking.
Malu at left guard, or you could use Herbig or Driscoll. Now, granted, Herbig played there last year. I really like Herbig.
I like Herbert a lot.
You could also say if Dillard beats out Mailata at left tackle, which won't see happening. But if some odd god reason it fucking does, well, you could put Mailata at left or right guard.
I think it's going to wind up being either Herberg or it's going to be Dillard. I think it would be one of those two. I feel like it would probably wind up being Dillard just because he doesn't truly have a place on that left side of the line. I feel like that's pretty shored up at this point, especially with the selection of Dickerson and how well Malatai did last season. I just feel like he's going to be moved over to that right-hand side. Whether he'd be a good interior compared to exterior lineman, I'm not exactly sure. But I think you can experiment with him at the right guard position, see how he does, and if not, kick him out to the right tackle as a backup. But it would probably have to be Harrisburg or Dillard.
Yeah. Now, why I only say that if you wanted to make that move, why I would go with Cox. And there's only one reason why, and that is because his money. But not just that, you're also paying his backup, Hargraves, $30 million. Okay, that is what we signed him for when we got him, is $30 mil. You're paying Fletcher Cox $20 mil. Now, whenever you have Hargraves is sitting there at, I believe he's 26, 27 years old. Okay, he is younger. So, in my eyes, when we grabbed him from Pittsburgh, you're automatically signing this man because you want him to be Fletcher Cox's heir at the time. Okay, but this is before we even drafted Jackson. Okay, this year. But at the time we signed him, I'm like, all right, well, you just went out and signed a DT for $30 million. So obviously this guy's going to be a huge part of this defense. So that's your heir to him, to Cox. So if you would trade Cox, dump the 20 mil, because you still have 30 million against Hargraves, and you have your rookie in Jackson, that gives Hargraves his start, number one, and you get your money's worth out of him, hopefully, but you will learn whether or not he's worth the 30 mil this year. That way you know, do I dump him or do I keep him?
All right.
And then you also get to see what Jackson is as well. Because you know what? You spend a third-round pick on Jackson. You're talking him up so much right now. You know, this kid's a stud. When you start putting him in Aaron Darnold status, motherfucker, I better see Aaron Darnold then. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude better not come out looking like fucking Pee Wee Herman. Because I'll tell you what, I'll be pissed off. You better not say Aaron Darnold and then he comes out fucking no. I better fucking see Aaron Darnold. You can't compare somebody like that to him and then not even come close to being that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that is a huge comparison. So if you're saying that, I'm expecting amazing things from this kid. Therefore, if you're saying that, I'm okay with you moving on from Fletch. But get me something back in return. So if you're able to free up that cap space, get Howard, get a deal done with Howard, solidify your CB2, and not lose a lot, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I already stated why I would trade Brooks. It just, for me, I feel like with Fletch because, after the 2023 season, he becomes an unrestricted free agent. So in that situation, you could just choose, hey, we're not going to resign you. We appreciate all you've done for us, but we're going to, go with Hargreaves because Hargreaves under contract. His contract does end in 2023. Okay. Yeah, so I understand a lot more than why you would do the Cox thing. It's just for me, I don't know how many teams would truly want to trade for him with the cap hit. Like, it would have to be a team that has a good amount of cap space left.
I don't even know what the Dolphins have right now.
Yeah,
but
I don't know off the top of
like
my head either, but
I believe Fletch would literally solidify that defensive line for him.
Yeah, but again, that's literally there's not a single defense in the league that would not benefit from having Fletcher on their defensive line because, like I've already said, he just opens up so many possibilities for your lineman to get to the quarterback, put pressure, everything.
Plus, it's a great place for him to go because it gets him out of the NFC as well.
That
He's
is
now
true.
in AFC, so you don't even see him except every 4 years too.
Yeah.
Hell, by the time that team, like say that you would send him to Miami, probably by the next time we even see Miami after this year, he'll already be retired.
Yeah, well, see, to me, I don't even think I would go after Xavier Howard. I mainly brought that up because I know you said you would like to sign Steve Nelson, but I honestly want to go after Stephon Gilmore. I think Stephon Gilmore would do great with our blitz zone defense. He's a reliable locker room leader. He's one of the best leaders of that locker room, I feel, for Patriots. The guy's an absolute baller, even at his current age. And in his own defense, you wouldn't have to worry about him being burned by the wide receivers and such because he'll always be in a position, and he always knows how to position himself to make plays. So he's definitely one of those guys that you could get him. I can't say how much you would want for his contract, but I do think that you could probably get him for a much cheaper price than you would for Xavier Howard. Let me see how much Gilmore is.
No, I 100% agree. That's why Howard's sitting out right now because he wants more money.
Yeah.
So I know
he deserves more money. He's proven why he's the best corner in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him, but that's why I said that you need to free up that cap. Now, I do like your Gilmore take. I've been saying give Ertz in like maybe a second or a third. Ertz in a second or Ertz in a third for Gilmore.
It even works out even better, especially on the Patriots end, because after this year, Stephon Gilmore becomes a free agent anyways.
Yeah.
So you could get him off the books and also get maybe a couple draft picks for the trouble as well. So I think it's a very, feasible thing to do.
And with him being a free agent after this year anyway, isn't that a complimentary pick for us at the end of the year too? Because it's only a 1 year.
I believe it possibly could be.
I mean, there is payback a little bit in that sense, But no, I mean, Ertz for Gilmore, I would not be mad at that. And not just that, but Ertz would be a really good fucking piece over there for like Mac Jones.
I don't think they really need a tight end when they signed the top 2 tight ends in free agency.
Yeah, but
I think if they would want anything, it would either be. I think they would potentially want maybe Fletcher Cox, or they would probably want just picks. It would be one of the two.
I will kill myself before I see Fletcher Cox in a Patriots jersey.
Just remember, we got Chris Long from the Patriots.
That's different. He was in an Eagles jersey. I'm not going to watch Fletcher Cox in a fucking Patriots jersey. That's almost
I would cry if I see it,
like
but I
Harrison
think
going
that
from
would.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. But I think that would definitely be those would probably be the 2 asking prices that the Patriots would want. They probably want like a second or a third, maybe additional late round pick with that. But I think it would be that, or they would want to get maybe Fletcher Cox, and then maybe they could get some picks back as well with Gilmore.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know what it would take to get Gilmore, but I do like Gilmore. I mean, I know some people have been saying Sherman, and I'm like, no, people, he's fucking too old.
That's why I like the zone defense a lot more. It's because you can afford to go out and get a guy like Richard Sherman or Stephon Gilmore or any of the like more veteran-based corners, and you don't have to necessarily worry as much about age because the biggest contraction with age is speed, right? Especially at corners and wide receivers, your biggest worry is how fast are they, and on the defensive side, will they be able to keep up with the opposing wideouts and all that stuff, especially with how much more emphasis on speed there is in modern day NFL. With the zone, though, you can take more advantage of, their football knowledge and their smart positioning to try and, catch them. If you see that they're trying to move in between the zones, you recognize it and you can make the play that way, kind of like those trapdoor spiders, if you know what I'm talking about, where they wait and wait until their prey comes close and then
Yep. Well, you're constantly reading the quarterback when you're in zone. I mean, it keeps your eyes forward and not behind you.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I understand. I just don't.
Like, I'm not saying
I don't know. I just don't think his mentality fits here either. Like, I don't know. I don't think Richard Sherman would be good for our locker room anyway.
I don't know. Like, I think he's definitely matured a lot since his Seahawks days, because when he was with the Seahawks, I couldn't bear the guy. I thought he was the biggest asshole in the world. I fucking hated him. But, since he's left the Seahawks, like, I felt like he's matured quite a lot. You definitely can see it a lot more. He's nowhere near as arrogant as he was with the Seahawks, so I don't know if he'd be that bad of an influence in the locker room. In fact, hell, he might even turn out to love Philadelphia because he can be a little bit more of himself, which is what a lot of athletes like about Philadelphia, is that, they can be more themselves there than they could at other cities. But I'm not necessarily saying I would like to sign Richard Sherman. I think I wouldn't be upset with the signing if they do go out and get him, if they can get him for the right price. But I feel like there's better corners you can get out there. Like, if you really want him, Xavier Howard, there's Stephon Gilmore you can trade after, Steve Nelson, and I made my video on Brian Poole, who's I feel like a budget version of him.
How do you feel about Poole?
Honestly, I really do like Brian Poole a lot. Like I've even said in my video, he's biggest worry for me is the injury he suffered last season with the Jets, that shoulder injury. If he can make 100% recovery off that and he stays healthy, like, he could legitimately be a good cornerback number 2 for a team. Like, I even made the comparison with the two stats between Steve Nelson and Brian Poole. And Brian Poole basically did in 9 games what it took Steve Nelson to do an entire season. And especially...
Now, he's older, right?
They're actually the exact same age. The only difference between the two physically is that I think Steve Nelson has an inch on Brian Poole.
No, but I mean, what is their age, though? Like 28?
Yeah, they're both 28.
28? Yeah, so that's not bad. I mean, you get the experience with being able to still teach a little bit.
And if you even go back and look at some of the film, like, especially if the Jets team he was on, he was one of the very few bright spots that Jets defense had at all. And after he went down, that defense went even more downhill.
Yeah. Well, and not just that, but also another good thing going for us, too, is our DB coach used to be with the Jets. So
yeah. And so if he knows that Brian Poole is as good as I think he could be, I see no reason why he wouldn't say, listen, I know this guy. He works hard. He's a good player. And he definitely won't cost as much as Steve Nelson is going to be looking to get. I'll put my bid out for him. And another thing I like about him is that they also used him, to put some more pressure on the quarterback as well. They were using him to come off the blitz a couple of times. And if this is going to be a zone blitz defensive scheme like I believe it's going to be, then it could truly be a nice home for him, because you never know if he's going to be actually staying back in coverage. He could be pushed up and trying to come off that edge and trying to get a surprise hit on the quarterback. He has a lot of versatility and a lot of, just roughness to him. I feel like he could definitely make a splash if given a chance.
So I got to ask you real quick, because you made that comment just a little bit ago. Who's the bigger asshole in your opinion, Josh Norman or Richard Sherman? That's a tough one.
As of right now, or
no, like in their prime, both of them.
Richard Sherman, 100% Richard Sherman.
You think?
I think
Josh Norman was pretty bad too, man.
No, Josh Norman could be an absolute asshole, but I could not stand Richard Sherman when he was peak Richard Sherman.
That is true. Yeah.
Like, I could not, you had no idea how happy I was that the Patriots beat them in the Super Bowl in that fashion. And you just saw the just absolute soul-crushing despair in his face.
Is that the one they made all the memes about?
Wasn't it?
The one they made all the memes about where he was like...
Yeah, the one where he was so happy they goes...
Yeah.
Just remember, kids, you always run with beast mode on the 1 yard line. Remember that.
Do not do whatever you do. Do not do what Pete Carroll did in that Super Bowl. You never throw on the 2.
It was right from the beginning. They paid off the coach.
Yeah, no, that is so stupid. When he did that, that made my jaw drop. I was like, "Are you kidding me, dude?" Like,
dude, I saw that and I couldn't stop
the Super Bowl,
dude.
Like that's one Super Bowl Tom Brady should not have had. Like
he should currently be tied with every franchise in existence.
Yeah, because Pete Carroll handed him that they might as well just hike the ball and handed it to the defense. That's pretty much what you did. So
yep. And then Russell Wilson's career has never recovered from that moment. Poor Russ, man.
I know, man. The more and more that they say let Russ eat, the more and more worse he gets. I swear. Like, look at him at the beginning of the season. He did so good. And then they start talking.
I think it's coming down to inconsistency at this point. And I'm not exactly sure what's to blame here. Like, I'm not sure if it's the play calling or if it's like Russell was just being inconsistent in his personal play. Like, I'm not exactly sure what the big problem is because they have a decent enough O-line.
Man.
You know, they got some good weapons on offense. Their defense is nowhere near as good as Legion of Boom, but it's still serviceable.
Yeah.
Compared to it, but it feels like the big common denominator right now is when Russell's on his game, he's on it. Like, he can be unstoppable, but when he's off his game, like, he'll overthrow his open receivers. He'll try and send plays too long. He'll take sacks. I just feel like it's starting to come down to Russell being a little bit more inconsistent, and that's hurting the team.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I don't know what it is because you're right. Like, there is no reason that team should not win. Like, but it just seems like every year once they get to like the first or second round of the playoffs, that's whenever disaster strikes.
That's
every year.
That's why I'm not saying it's going to be. I honestly could see this being on Carroll and maybe his play calling because I think it's starting to get a little predictable. Because I'm not sure he's changed up his playbook a lot since that last Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, in my eyes, Pete Carroll's always had that run-first mentality, you know? Like,
yeah.
But he definitely didn't prove it that last play of the Super Bowl. Like, that's the run-first mentality you should have had right there. But instead, and it seemed like ever since he played that play there, everything's been off.
Yeah,
you know, kind of
I feel like ever since even Beast Mode left the team, it's just felt like there hasn't been like that true soul on the team. Like, it doesn't feel like they, you know, had that like guy, you know, who's the life and blood of the team, like Russell Wilson's trying to be. You know, I think he's trying to be what Beast Mode was for the Seahawks. But I feel like
he's Carson Wentzing it a little bit, dude. He's a lot of times he's forcing things, trying to make plays happen more Because let's be honest, Russell Wilson is that type of guy. He can extend plays for a
Yeah,
long
he's trying to be
period
a
of
modern
time.
day Randall Cunningham.
Yeah, but to a point though, he
It becomes
extends them too long.
yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
And that's
and
where he
also
gets in
like
trouble.
the arm accuracy starts to be put into questions, like in some situations as well. Like I understand not every quarterbacks aren't going to have be the most accurate every single time, especially when you got guys running in your face. But it just feels like there's a good amount of times where Russell Wilson just completely misses like wide open guys down the field and just overthrowing them by multiple yards, or he's throwing it too low, or other things like that. It's just even in situations where that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. No, yeah, like he's been in the league long enough now. You
Yeah,
would think some of the issues and some of the mistakes he makes, he wouldn't make. Like he would have learned, but you know, yeah, no, it's crazy, man. And that's what's going to be awesome about this year. We're back to 100% capacity. We're back to fans. We're back to 2 preseasons. We have an extra game this year and all that. You
yeah.
know,
I'm
it's going
very
to be a good
interested to
season.
see what comes of this. Like, as I think I mentioned this to Mitchell, I don't think I did this on stream. I think this is just between a conversation between us. But I'm interested to see if they're gonna, try and bring in some expansion teams potentially to the NFL and try and shake things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Adding another game like that, like I feel like that could lead to room for expansion, and I would love to see that.
Yeah, no, it could happen, but it's also one of those things. Like I laugh because there was people out there. They were bitching about having the one extra game, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I understand, but y'all agreed to this. First off, that's why it happened, and secondly, it's not like we're asking you to play 5 games. It's one extra game.
Yeah,
You guys want to make it. You guys want to make it to the playoffs anyway.
yeah,
And if you make it to the playoffs, you play another 4 games if you keep winning. So
yeah.
what's one extra game? I mean,
For
in
me, I'm
baseball, you
just
play
curious
over 100.
why they only added one. Like, if you truly want to extend the season, why won't you make it at least 2? So this way, it's a little bit more impactful. Because if it's only one game, then there's really not much purpose for it. Because with the one game, like the only time it's going to truly affect anything is when you have those teams that have the exact same record in division, and even then, that's not going to necessarily help things if they keep doing the exact same thing and they both win and lose the exact same times.
Yeah.
It's just if you truly wanted to make it so this may be more competitive, I don't know why you wouldn't do like 2 games. I feel like 5 would be too much. I just feel like one's not enough. I think adding a 2 games would have made the most sense there.
Man, you're a nice guy because I'm saying we don't have enough football. Like, dude, if I'd make these motherfuckers
because
play
you
30
do have to
games if
keep
I
in mind, like look at the NBA for example, and how many injuries there've been with that. That's because you have too many games,
Yeah,
going
but dude,
on
that's where
too
you
short a
get
time.
expanded rosters. That's where you get, yeah, you might have shorter careers. You won't have 17, 18 season guys, but
Which I
that's what
think,
will make it awesome because you'll actually get to see more players through history. You won't just see the same
but see,
guy for
that's where I
10 years.
disagree because I think one of the most impactful things that players do is when they're able to play those 17, 18 years and they make the impacts for their team like they do. Because, you'll remember the guys that, played for the teams and they did great for extended periods of time compared to players that were okay or average, but, got to play in a couple more games because the season got longer. I feel like there needs to be a balance between quantity versus quality. If you just add on a bunch of games, then you're just looking to add on more games just to have more games compared to making sure you're having good quality of games.
I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this, but I don't give a fuck.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy, we're getting bold.
This is my channel, so I'll do what the fuck I want.
Oh, shoot.
All right. Listen. If you are in the NFL, you're fucking good. Whether you're a backup, whether you're third string, whether you're even on special teams or even on the practice squad. Listen, that franchise fucking picked you because you're good. If you're not good, you're good enough or it could be taught to be good enough to play in the NFL. Okay? There is what? 1% of the people who make it. Okay? So if you're on an NFL team, if you're on that roster, or you are even on that practice squad, you're fucking good. Now, granted, you might not be at the levels of the people who are starting, but there's something there that people saw that made them want to sign you. Okay? So whenever people come in and say, oh, you know, we had backups playing for us, or we had this guy playing for us, so that was our weak spot. Yeah, that's your weak spot because that's not your starter, but it's not a fucking weak spot because that guy's playing or he wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Like, he's either good and he's not in the NFL, or you're in the NFL and you are good. Now, there are different explanations of good. You know, you are good, you're good, and then you're good, if you know what I mean. Like, there's different levels of good. You know, you can be at the low end of good, you can be at the high end of good, but then there's also great. You know, and the great ones, which names don't need to be explained, they are the ones that set the tone for everyone else, like Tom Brady, you know, like Michael Thomas, like DeAndre Hopkins, like Julio Jones and Aaron Donald, and, you know, all these other guys, all these other greats, you know, even the ones past, you know, they've set the tone, you know. And whenever you have greats like Randy Moss and Jerry Rice, it is hard to ever consider someone else a great, you know. And because of our roster sizes, because the longevity of all these great careers, you really miss out on a lot of who could be greats. You know, because, for instance, we might never see what Adrian Killings can bring to this team. But how do you not know that that dude might be great? Who knows what would happen if Boston Scott took all the snaps all year long? Who knows if Corey Clement came in the following year and took all the snaps, how great he would have been? Or Hollins, or, you know, and that goes for anyone's team. You know what I mean? Like, you're only as good for how much you play. If you are on the first string and you go up against first string corners, you will get better. To be the best, you got to beat the best. If you get what I'm saying.
All right. I see exactly what you're saying.
So that's kind of where I'm going with this, you know. So when people use that as excuses, that it's a hard excuse to get by.
I definitely respect the opinion, but here's my response to that, though, is that you can say that there's definitely potential for players to develop and be, though, you know, the next great guys, but that's something that is rare to find its own, is to find the guy at certain positions, you know.
But how do you not know if they don't play?
Well, that's what I was alluding to. But, you know, look at the draft, for example. You know, everyone thinks that they have the guys going in the first round, and yet you can get the true, you know, generational talents going in the 7th round, like Tom Brady. You know, you get some of the best players of all time go undrafted, like Kurt Warner. You know, that's why you never can truly tell based off just numbers, statistics. It takes, you know, knowing the players and actually watching them play, which is why making sure you have the right scouts, the right coaching is incredibly important for that exact reason. And that's why it's very imperative that the NFL coaches, you know, pay extra close attention to their players. Because, you know, yes, you could have a generational talent and not know it because they're not getting all the snaps. But if you're just giving all the snaps to this third string running back and they're not doing anything, then you've just wasted stats that could be going to your current guys and try and help them improve more, especially when they're younger. So at that point, it comes down to the coaching and the coach's decision and their eye for talent. That's what it comes down to the most, especially that's why it's even more important with these practices, because if you truly have something, if there's even an ounce of greatness in you, that comes out at practice, and it will come out at the very first chance you get. Like, I believe it was it Marshall Faulk who just blew up that guy on special teams?
Yeah.
Yeah. Marshall Faulk was given his one chance, and that could have been his only chance to ever make it in the NFL. And he put everything he could into that tackle to make sure that all those coaches know, and everyone that was watching him know, listen, I'm here, I mean business. So you can say that, giving everyone the opportunity to be great, is how you make more great players. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the players themselves and how hard they want to work at it. And it comes down to the coach and actually paying attention to the potential of their players as well, since they're the ones that named the starting lineup.
And now, don't get it twisted, man. When I say that, I'm not saying everyone in the NFL has a chance.
I know exactly what you meant. I didn't mean to make it sound like you meant everyone.
Well, and I'm clarifying it for anyone who watches this too. I'm not saying everyone in the NFL is
great. Nathan Peterman.
But that's what I'm saying. But and that's something that I've actually been trying to sit down and figure out for a long time is, like, statistically, with all the people who have ever come through the NFL and who have made it, how many haven't made it, and how many potential stars there could have been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying.
That's a huge list. That is a huge window. Who knows how many potential stars have fallen through the cracks just because somebody beat them to it, or they didn't have their chance.
And that's exactly why. And I don't know if I've ever talked to anyone in the Philadelphia community about this particular, but I've always been like a big fan of. I know this is going to sound off topic, but I'll make sure I swing back around to make it make sense. I'm a big fan of international soccer. And one of the things I like the most is a league table format. So you have your top teams, you got your mid-tier teams, you got your low-tier teams. But the low-tier teams are always fighting for survival. They're trying to prove that they still belong in that league. And if the teams don't perform, like, these 1-15 Jaguars and the 2-14 Jets, teams that perform like that and perform poorly, they get regulated down a notch. And they're forced to play against a lower competition. If they are truly ready to go back up to that prime level, then they'll earn it through promotion. And so I've always been a big fan of either having something like that in the NFL or having an actual developmental league, but they try to do with NFL Euro, but that failed because it was based towards Europeans and not towards the country that actually loves your sport the most.
So you're saying you want to do something like how baseball has it, where you have your minor league and your major.
Something like that, or like a league table kind of format, which I doubt would ever be possible because you'd have to have a lot more teams and, a lot more stuff would have to go into that. But I think if there was a true minor league system, then, because that's what's so great about baseball and their ability to farm is because they have that minor league system in place. So this way, your Fernando Tatis Jr.'s, your Juan Soto's, your Mike freaking Trouts, who, by the way, went 24th overall in the first round. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, the reason you have minor league systems like that is to make sure that you have players and you can develop them into what you want. And then once you feel they're ready for the big time, you can call them up. You can test them out, give them a couple of games to try them out in. If they don't work, you can send it back down, tell the coaches this is what they need to prove upon, focus on these points, or they prove, hey, I'm here, I got the biggest dick in the room, let's do this shit.
Do you know why I say, though, that's never going to happen? Because the NFL does not like competition.
Nope. Which is dumb, and why I'm glad that the XFL is not folding and it's coming back. Because, Heineke is already a perfect example of, players that's fallen through the cracks that truly have potential to them. There's a reason he made it onto an NFL team and even got to start in an NFL playoff game and actually performed well. It's because he wasn't truly ever given that chance. But when you have, even if the NFL itself made a minor league system, like go to the team and say, listen, we want to ensure that our future is brighter for the future of this league and for the future generations. So we're going to have all the teams have a minor team, and you can send your draftees there, all that stuff, kind of like in baseball. But, having a farm system or just some other league that you can have players play in and, still give them the exposure and still have them playing at a higher competition before you just throw them to the wolves. Because, like Nathan Peterman is the perfect example. The guy was an absolute beast in college, and then he got thrown to the wolves in the NFL. He played for a bad team. I'm sure nerves got the better of him, and after that game, his confidence got completely shot, and he went on to be one of the biggest memes of all time. If you actually gave him the time, like give him a year or two in like a farm-esque system where he could go against, potential first or second year NFL picks as well. Maybe they send down older veterans that are starting to age out of the league, so this way they still have a chance to play. And they can also pass on knowledge that way as well. It just makes so this way you're improving, longevity of careers. You're making it so this way you're developing your potential future stars, and you can actually even develop more of them. And it's going to eventually lead to a higher competition because that means it's going to be higher standards to get into the league.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my only thing, though, is I think the NFL would argue, well, that's what we use the Canada Football League for.
And they can kiss my ass because I'm not watching Canada Football League when their rules are completely different from regular football.
Right? No, it is. It is. But, I mean, lucky us, we got a good one out of Singleton. But, I mean.
But it's still one of those things where you need to truly be able to develop these players, and you need more than just mini camps and training. Like they need an actual place where they can go and shine. Since football is a mainly American sport, although it's starting to take more popularity in the UK now, it's not like you're going to be able to do what they can in soccer, where you can send players out on loan to some other team in fucking Norway or some shit to develop them in a lower tier league by giving them time. It's just there's, like you said, like there's definitely going to be wasted potential that's never going to be seen because of, they're playing behind like an all-time great like Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or you fucking all these other great players.
And not just that, dude, but I also feel too that a lot of times these players, like as soon as they fuck up, teams are instantly just ready to rip them out. Like for instance, Fulgham last year. First 5 games that he had, he's leading in yardage and all that, and they're like, hey, he keeps this pace, he could be at 1,000 yards, blah blah blah. And then he has a bad game or two, and then we just completely tear him out. It's like, dude, that's part of the lumps. That's part of the growing pains of being a young player. He's going to have bad games, but when you tear him out, one, you destroy his confidence. There's that. He's not going to produce like he did before, and which we saw he didn't. From the moment they ripped him out, from the moment they kept putting him in here and there, dude, he wasn't catching anything. How many fucking bombs did he drop there at the end where they were actually hitting his hands, and he dropped them? And I'm not putting that on him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. You can't pull a player out, put him in, pull him out, put him in, pull him out. Exactly, Jot, because Fuck that little old dude. No, dude.
Another, I
Just because you're
forget the
paying
name of
him,
of
it's
the
Howie's
player.
fault that he had to play. It's Howie's problem because
Yeah.
he's the one that paid him $20 million. You paid him for a Super Bowl. You didn't pay him for what he was about to become. You paid him for what he did, and that was what fucked us up. You paid all these people for what they did and not what they were about to do. And then you had people like Fulgham and all these other rookies that we drafted paying the consequence for all that. Because guess what? You were obligated to fucking play Alshon then. You couldn't sit Alshon. You're paying him $20 million. It's a fucking waste if you have him sitting on the bench. So you had to play him. And who took the downfall for
And
that?
you know what? I've never
Oh.
been a big fan of people saying, "Oh, I'm paying you this much money. Why is he sitting on the bench?" Because, and I'll bring up his name again. I've been bringing it up a lot this stream, but I'm going to once again bring up Tom Brady. You know, he got his opportunity after shit. Was it? I know it began with Bledsoe.
Exactly.
Yeah, like they were paying Bledsoe. What was it? $20 million a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were paying Bledsoe that much money, and after he went down, they put in Tom Brady, and Tom Brady performed so well that they're like, well, we'll keep playing the kid because he's hot and he's doing well. And why would I put in someone who's not playing as well as him just because he's being paid more money? You know, I think that's a bad ideology to have, is that, oh, I'm paying him so much money, so he has to play. If he's not playing well, or you got someone who's playing better than him, and doesn't matter how much you're paying the guy, you play the hot hand.
Yep. No, I'm with you, dude. You know, like you play your best players. You know, that was one thing in high school I always fucking hated when it came to football. You know, the parents who were on the PTO committee and shit, or the coach's sons or favorites, they all played. It didn't matter if you sucked or not. It just mattered if your parents were popular, is who fucking played. You know, it just mattered if you were popular, if you played. And that's where everything gets fucked up. It's like, no, you don't play who's popular. You don't play who sells the best jerseys or the most jerseys. You sell who is the best player on that field.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit if Fletcher Cox is our number one jersey sale and everybody fucking loves him. If Jackson is better than him, he better be on that field. You know what I mean? Like, I know what he's done, but if we do have better, play them. Like, I don't care what anyone's done. That's where everyone gets this fucked up. This is about winning. This is not about favorites. This is not about, you know, oh, we don't want to hurt so-and-so's feelings. I don't give a shit. I'm here to fucking win. I don't care if so-and-so wants to go to his locker and cry because he is not playing. Oh, there you go, Jock. Yep. See, popular kid always plays.
Yep.
I played too. I just didn't really care about popularity. But that's how most schools work, though. I've heard it my whole life. I mean, and not even from my school. You know, I have friends from other schools. They'd say the same shit. You know, it's always the popular ones, or it's always the parents of, you know, sports programs that get to play. You know, it's just favoritism. And that's where everything gets wrong. It's like, if Carson Wentz came out last year at the beginning of the year and Doug saw that his game was off and Jalen's was on, I would have preferred him to start Jalen because it's about winning. You know, in the end, no one wants to lose. I've never seen a nice loser. So, I mean, you know, we got to stop getting shit twisted here and just start making this about winning again. Because that's what we're here to do. That's all football is about, is winning. You know, you're all playing for that final prize at the end, and that's the Super Bowl. And that's all it's about, is those dubs. I don't want to see the L's. I want to see the dubs. That's it. That's all I fucking care about.
No, exactly. Cowboys there are no such thing as nice loser Cowboys.
Yeah, no. I mean, they lose every year, bro, and they still think they're gonna fucking win. Like,
the nicest loser over me is going to be I'm not actually calling him a loser himself, but Phillip Rivers, because the guy was always so nice no matter what. Man, I'm so sad he's gone.
You're kidding me, right?
Mayhaps.
I hope so, because all that dude did is fucking yell at his teammates, bro. It was never Philip Rivers' fault. Like, how many times during every
Listen,
game
it's not
when he
Philip
would
Rivers'
throw the
fault
ball
that
and it would
Antonio
hit
Gates
their
gets held
hands
every
and
single game, okay?
yeah.
And then he goes to the Colts, and then they don't give him any weapons besides T.Y. Hilton, who's in his 30s, okay? It's obviously Philip Rivers the victim, okay?
He had Keenan Allen for
He
fucking 7 years. Are
is
you
the
shitting me?
victim.
No. Oh my God, dude. Philip Rivers is the biggest fucking baby I've ever seen. Are you fucking kidding me? Yo, if I was one of his 9 kids, I'd shoot my head off. Like, I would fucking hate to have him as a father, bro. I would hate to have him as a dad. Do you not see how mean that guy is? You see him on that field?
But you
Like,
know what?
no lie,
You know
if
what,
Keenan
though?
dropped the ball, he would literally be yelling, walking to the sideline at him, like, catch the fucking ball. And Keenan be like, well, if you fucking throw it to me, dumb shit, and don't make me jump 7 feet in the fucking air. You know, like, that's what I'm saying. He'd always fucking do that, man. He'd always be yelling at people. You never see him do this, like, my bad, my bad. It was never fucking Philip Rivers'
I
bad,
have
dude.
started a rant that I did not mean to start.
Yo, I'm telling you, dude. I fucking hate Philip Rivers, yo. Like, I feel bad for his wife. Like, no lie. Dude's a dick. Yo, and trust me, if he's like that on the football field, I guarantee you he's like that.
I don't actually like Philip Rivers, but I do actually like Antonio Gates.
No, Gates is fine.
I love Gates. He is honestly, he is my favorite tight end of all time.
I just can't stand people, dude, who can't take their own blame. Like, I'm sorry. Right?
Dynamic gosh darn.
Yes, I hate Philip Rivers, and that is literally because he does not take blame when he fucks up. You know, I've seen Big Ben before tap his chest saying my bad. I've seen, hell, Pat Mahomes has done it. Hell, I've even seen Wentz do it. And Wentz fucks up a lot.
Which is why he kept always saying, oops, my bad.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like I've seen so many people do it. I have never fucking seen Philip Rivers tap his chest and be my bad. He always rips his fucking chin guard down, storms off the field like a little child and fucking bitching at everyone. Like, that's all he fucking does, man. But I will say this, though, man.
Coach.
Huh?
I can't wait to see him as a gosh dang nabbit, I told you it's XZ11. Now you listen here, you little stinker.
He's gonna have 9 water boys. All his kids in jerseys running out to the field. No. I got you, Dad. I got you.
Are they all gonna have goth voodoo girlfriends that give them magic potions before the game?
Yo, like, no lie, this guy is not a Hall of Fame quarterback even. Like, I do not put him in Hall of Fame. No, fuck no.
Would you put Eli in the Hall of Fame?
Yes, Eli has 2 rings. Yes. Rings are what matter, bro. It's not about fucking anything else. Stats matter, yes. But Philip Rivers, no. He's not done enough to me. And he hasn't even won. Hell, has he ever got to a fucking championship game?
He has never gotten to a Super Bowl. I think he might have been to a championship game.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Even one, that's fucking pathetic, dude. I mean, the only reason that I had this conversation with my boss, I hope the fuck he's watching. I really do.
Oh,
I told him. I said,
apparently he's made only one appearance in a conference title game.
yeah, that's not Super Bowl worthy, bro. Or that's not Hall of Fame worthy. And his stats alone aren't even enough to get him in. No, he's not a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's not.
I love the little do 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 do.
Oh, you can hear that? My bad.
Oh no, it makes me nostalgic. My grandmother used to have something like that.
It was my grandmother's. That's why it's here. No, that's telling me it's past my bedtime. No. Hey, no lie though, guys. We're hitting the 2-hour mark right now. This has been a fire stream. Love working with you, Tyler. It's
Oh yeah, I
always a
love working with you
blessing.
too,
It's
man.
always fun, dude. You know, but hey, all you guys, like and subscribe to my channel, please. I'm telling you now, 100 subscribers, we're gonna do a raffle and get that Jalen Hurts jersey out to the lucky winner. Seriously. So please like and subscribe. God bless all. Seriously. But no, man, like we had that conversation though. To me, do you count Dan Marino as a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Honestly, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna tell you why. Because while Dan Marino never did make the championship, it's what he was for his team, and he was the guy of his team.
100% agree. 100%.
Yeah. I feel like if you're in the Hall of Fame and you never made a Super Bowl,
like,
you have to be the guy of your team, and you have to be the main factor of why your team had any success.
Yes.
Like Warren Moon. Warren Moon never made a Super Bowl, and yet he's still in the Hall of Fame because he was the guy for the Houston Oilers and then Tennessee Titans.
Yes.
Oh, excuse me, Tennessee Oilers. I don't know if they were the Tennessee Titans when he was still there or not.
No, it was the Oilers at the time.
Actually, was he even with them when they moved to Tennessee, or was he a free agent by then? Damn it, now I gotta look this up. Otherwise, I can't sleep tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Jock just told you. Look at that. Gates, Allen, and LT for Rivers, and he never got it done. He's had Antonio Gates, Allen, and LaDainian Tomlinson.
And apparently Warren Moon was also undrafted, by the way.
No shit.
Yeah, he went undrafted in 1978. Oh.
Props to him.
He did not ever play in Tennessee. He left Houston after 1993. Wait, he played for the Chiefs?
Really?
Yeah. And he also played in Seattle for a year.
I didn't ever know that.
The things you can find out
with
Google.
Before, like I said, though, that was rated, you said 93?
Yeah, he was.
I was like
1993.
Yeah, I was like 4, so that's probably why. I
wasn't even born.
You weren't a thought yet.
So when I was born, he had just finished his top. He was on the Seahawks, and it was his last year on the Seahawks.
Okay, so you're a youngin' then.
Yep. I know. According to Mitchell,
Jock, how old are you, man?
I am 22.
Jock, how old are you? I'm 33. You're 10 years behind me. Thanks for making me feel old.
Oh, of course, any day. I'm sure you still remember Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, I wonder how old Jock is. He's probably older than me, probably.
I'm gonna say
I feel like he's seen a lot more shit than I have.
I'm going 31 to 32.
You think? 57. There you go. There you go, man. He's seen a lot more shit than we have.
I was very wrong.
Yeah.
Whoops.
No, you know, now I feel bad. I was sitting here bitching about 33 years of hardship.
Damn, I mean, for you for remembering Steamboat Willie, he probably watched it.
Yo, Jock, honestly, man, I want to hear from you straight up. How did you feel when we won in 17? Like I haven't even got a
Your
chance to
Jock.
talk to an old head yet about this.
Poor
I know that-
Jock getting absolutely roasted.
Hey, well, dude, 57 years of an Eagles fan, that's being an old head. I mean, I'm considered an old head at 33.
Younger than Stott.
33 years is a long time, dude. I'm an
Yeah.
old head. You'll be there eventually.
No.
Yo.
No.
But no, it's really amazing, because I was going over it with somebody the other day. I was like, seeing where this team was when I was a kid to where it got to in 17 to where it is now. It's uplifting and then it's heartbreaking at the same time.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I did not see us going through this. Like I didn't. When we drafted Wentz, and after 17, I was like, well, if he can come back and, everything be okay,
Yeah.
a franchise quarterback for the next 10 years, Even after 18 and 19, I felt good about it, He had 19,
it's just
4,000
20
yards passing without a 500-yard receiver.
And on top of also having to drag an entire practice squad to the playoffs, like kicking and screaming. It's like not many quarterbacks would have the ability to do that.
Yeah. I was so happy when we won the Super Bowl. Yeah, me too, man. I actually cried a little bit. I won't lie.
So I got a fun story for you. So again, I was in Pittsburgh at college when we went to the Super Bowl. And I already said earlier, like everyone that I knew was like, "Oh, the Eagles aren't going to win. It's clear the Patriots are going to win," and blah 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 blah. And that night, me, my roommates had a couple of buddies over, and most of them were playing Magic the Gathering because I'm one hell of a fucking nerd. So most of them were just off playing Magic the Gathering on the counter off to the side, and then me and my other buddy, we were actually watching the game. He turns to me, he goes, "So who are you rooting for?" I'm going, "Well, I'm hoping my Eagles finally win this year." Because, hey, you know what? Yeah, man, I hope the Eagles win too, man. And then the fourth quarter, as it's getting towards the end of the game, I think Foles had missed the pass, and he just jumps up and shouts, "Yeah, fuck you, Eagles!" I go, "Wait, you said you wanted them to win?" He's like, "Yeah, because I thought they didn't have a chance. I'm a Patriots fan."
Yo, that's funny as shit.
I know.
No, Jock, you know something, man? I'm all right. You know what? For some reason, y'all are making me honest tonight, so I'm gonna be honest.
Oh shit! Get that truth serum out.
I love Wentz as well. Like I think all of us Eagle fans hold him in our heart in regards somewhere, Yeah. No, you're not lying, man. I was all for Wentz. I truly thought we were set for a long time. Yo, Joey Shakes, what's going on, dude? Thank you for coming in, man. I appreciate the support, dude. Thank you. I really, really thought we were in good shape with Wentz. I have been so blown back by this, and we all have. This has rocked us for a while, but how long, it all depends on this coaching staff. It all depends on Howie and everything, dude.
Yeah, this is going to be the year where a lot of questions are either going to get answered, or there's going to be a lot of heads rolling soon.
Season, big if.
Yeah, this is the if season.
But I truly feel that getting Hurts is what ultimately will save us, But I never saw this coming. I did not feel. If you would have asked me a year ago, do you feel Wentz, Doug, and Hurts will be the starting quarterback and the other two will be gone? I would have said you're fucking crazy. Like, there's no way, So all this caught by surprise, and I feel because we were caught by surprise and everything that we've done so far and everything that we've had to do, I feel we've done as much as we can with what we have to work with. And I feel what we've done enough to stay relevant in the NFC East. I won't go as far to say that we're a playoff team, but I do believe that we could win this division. But I only say that because of the energy that these players are bringing, the energy that these coaches are bringing, the belief that they're making swirl around our organization, you know, in the locker room, on the field. You know, I've always said it. You can make a lot of guys really good just by making them believe. You know, belief in yourself and the people around you truly, truly bring out the best in everyone, you know? And it all starts there. And as long as these guys believe, man, there's nothing that they can't do. There really isn't. And so that's why I say this team could be more. But with everything that we've had to endure and go through this offseason, should we be more? Hell no. But I have the faith and I have a feeling we will be, just because of this new young coaching staff. Like, they're bringing in a new mentality. They're bringing in, you know, a new energy. And, you know, like I said in that one video, the difference between Doug's staff and this staff is, bro, you weren't seeing Doug's old ass going out there and trying to teach these corners how to, you know, backpedal and shit and do all their moves that they need to do and their coverage skills. Gannon can do that. You know, he doesn't just verbally tell you, he can visually show you what he wants you to do. Because he's young, he's fit, he can handle it. To where, let's be honest, Doug's coaching staff was not like that. These old fat dudes were not going to get out there and fucking try and teach you how to do and play cornerback. They were going to verbally tell you. A lot of people are visual learners. They're not verbal. I know I'm a visual learner. You show me something one time, I have it. You know? So this young staff being able to get in the grass with them, do the things that they're doing. Yeah, no, I agree, Joey. I do, man. Like, I am so pumped for this year. Like, I'm expecting 11 wins. Like, these guys have so much energy running through this building. I'm expecting, like, 11 wins. Granted, we'll probably not get there, but like I said, as long as I see a little bit improvement each and every week, I'm satisfied. You know, Hurts doesn't have to come out here and be a superstar stud.
No.
Okay? I want him to come out here, not fuck up, and just run this offense. If you have 2,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, listen, I'm okay with that. 2 interceptions, yeah, you only have 20 touchdowns. It's not great. 2,700 yards, it's not great, but you showed me you didn't fuck up. We can build off that. You know what I mean? I just want to see consistency. I want to see that you can hold on to the ball. You can run this offense the way that Nick needs it to be ran. And, dude, like I said, you're going to have the Hurts effect and the Smith effect. You know, this team is drawn around Hurts. Our offensive line loves him. Our wide receivers love him. Hell, even our defensive line loves him. Defensive players love him. You know? But then you have Devontae Smith. And the Smith effect is, we've never had well, in my lifetime at least, we've never had a Heisman winning player on this team. Okay? These wide receivers would be fucking retarded not to pay attention to him and mimic what he does, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Pay attention to his route running. Pay attention to how he catches the ball. Pay attention to his hips, his feet, how he works everything. Like, you should be watching this man to a T, figuring out why Devontae Smith is the best and mimic it. If we can just get Fulgham, Greg Ward, Reagor, Hightower, Watkins to even get half of what Devontae Smith is at route running, dude, these wide receivers could be dirty. I'm not even playing. They could be. So It just all depends on this team, how much work they put in, the belief. But I'm with you, Joey, dude. I am so fucking excited for the season. Like, I want it to start tomorrow because I'm afraid, like, dude, I hope they can hold this energy for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I
like
hope
that's
they
gonna be the
can.
hardest part is saying how long they can keep this energy up for.
Yeah, no, I agree, dude. He is the best route runner in the draft. And that's what I'm saying. If you pay attention to Devontae Smith and you can teach them and they work with him, dude, these wide receivers, like, they're going to be disgusting. You know, and Miles Sanders and and Jalen Hurts in the backfield together, it's a deadly combination right there. You know how deadly our RPOs are going to be this year? Like, you know, our screen game, our quick slants, our out routes, all that, man. The whole point of this offense is going to be fast and get the ball out fast. There isn't going to be, hey, take your 3 steps back, count to 5, let the ball go. You know, there is no 5-second waits, none of that. It's going to be like, hey, step back, drop back, throw the ball. Get it to your playmakers, let them do the work. Don't force nothing. And that's the thing. We just need to let these guys play ball. You know, get the ball to Devontae Smith 5 yards out and let him do his magic. Let him get around the people. Pretty much what he did at Alabama. Yeah, you're going to have to throw some deep balls in, obviously. You know, deep balls are always fun. You got to have them. But
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, man, just put the ball in the playmakers' hands and let them do what we pay them to do. You know, that's all they need to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't need to be special. You know, just play you. You know, let the other team fuck up. We don't need to make mistakes. He's preaching fundamentals, right? That's fine. I'm all for that. Teach them fundamentals. Make it so when we go out there, we have no penalties any games. And as long as you can beat them in the penalty game, you'll beat them on the field. How many times have we seen that? You take yourself out of contention when you're sitting on the 30-yard line about to score and then you get 2 penalties back to back. How many times did that happen to us last year? We get inside the red zone and we pushed ourselves out by penalties. And then obviously Jake Elliott fucks up the kick and then we stop kicking and going on 4th down. Like it all comes, you know, in one big melting pot. It was just bad. So if you take away the penalties, it'll be a more successful season because you won't have the 3rd and 15s, the 3rd and 20s. You know, you won't go from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 10s, and it just will all around be better. And another thing I want to see is on defensive line, dude. When you're rushing the passer, where did not putting hands up become a thing anymore? Like, get your fucking hands up, knock the fucking ball down. Don't let it easy for them. You know, that was one thing I hated about Jim Schwartz's defense is no one ever put their hands up. Now and then you get a swat ball, but, you know, you got to make it hard. And I just felt like we made it too easy.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. But it comes down to how much more improvement this team's going to have with a brand new coaching staff, a team that coaching staff is going to be a lot more hands-on with them. And how long will they be able to keep up the, we all we need mentality, because that was one of the biggest things we had in 2017 was, not having to worry about anyone else because we couldn't rely on anyone else but ourselves. And they drove that mentality all the way up to that Super Bowl. And with this younger core, it's a lot more imperative that the confidence stays high, the energy stays high, but can they manage to do that 4 months straight? And then if they do and it's a winning record and we get to playoffs, can they do that through playoffs as well?
Yeah. No, it's definitely going to be hard to maintain, especially for the next 4 months here because, these guys are off right now for the next month. They come back, July 28th or whatever? Something like that this month on the 28th. So they've been off a month. They've probably been working. So they're going to have to bring that energy back. They're going to have to continue that energy all the way through spring training and then all that shit, and then through preseason, and then into the regular season. Like if they can bring this energy all year long, shit, let's do it. I'm all for it. I mean, we need it, but you got to be able to maintain it, and that's something too, But no, I really believe that we made a really good decision by hiring Nick. I know we catch a lot of flack for it, but I want you guys to remember this shit too. If you fucking lose to us, you just lost to a rock, paper, scissors losing head coach. I just want you to remember that. Everybody gives a shit about that, but ultimately, y'all suck if you lose to us. Like, let's just put it that way. But no lie though, this year is our developmental stage. We're trying to see what we have in our wide receivers, Hurts, everyone really. Next year is going to be our breakout year. We'll have 40 to 60 million in cap. It just all depends, and we'll know exactly what we have at the wide receiver position. We'll know what we have at quarterback by the end of this year. We'll know everything, and then we'll have the cap room. And I pray to God Jalen Hurts works, because if he works, and we don't have to spend that on a quarterback, you can use those 3-round picks on whatever you want. You can use all your draft picks on whatever you want, and you still have $40 million to go out and get some really good fucking guys. Like, next year is our year again. Like, this year is going to be rough. This is also our developmental year and our study year to see what we got. After this year, dude, nothing should hold us back, because you have 4 more years of Jalen Hurts being on his rookie deal. So you don't have to worry about big contract money there. You got Johnson and Brooks and Kelsey all coming to the end of their contracts. So all that big money is going to be off the books. You have a lot of rookies that you just signed, a lot of young talent you just signed that don't cost a lot of money. You're going to have a shit ton of money over these next couple of years.
Yep.
There's no reason we cannot rebuild this team and be relevant within 2 years. And there's no reason that we can't be back in a Super Bowl within 5. Okay? Yep. But that all depends on Jalen Hurts this year. Because if we need to use these picks for a quarterback, if he doesn't pan out, that's going to set us back a little longer. But all in all, dude, I am so comfortable with this team. The only thing we need to do is, like you said earlier, just solidify the CB2 position, unless Zach McPherson or Obi Malafulu or whatever the fuck his name is, or one of these guys, Craig James, comes out and somehow overnight rubs a magic lamp and becomes fucking an amazing corner.
All of a sudden they just grow fucking like 1 foot taller, and they fucking have the speed of a cheetah and shit.
Right? Yeah, so I mean, unless that happens, we still need to put a little bit more emphasis on that position. But other than that, dude, the rest of this team, dude, I'm so comfortable with it. Like, I have no legit arguments about anything on this team but CB2. I am so comfortable going into this year. I can hang my hat saying we will have more than 6 wins this year. Oh, I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I thought every rookie got 5 years. I didn't know that.
First round. Because first rounders, they get a 4-year contract, and then they have the team option for an additional year.
Option. Yeah. Well, I thought second.
Even then, though, I think they can still re-sign Hurts or even extend his contract before it runs up in 2023.
Well, and in all honesty, you can probably still get him cheap by then, because he probably won't have done much still.
Yeah. Like, he's going to want a lot more money than he's probably getting paid currently, but he shouldn't be as bad as Carson Wentz.
Yeah, he won't break the bank. Yeah. Now, unless this motherfucker comes out and wins the Super Bowl next year, then I'm like, fuck.
Well, shit. Well, they're all the monies.
Yeah, I mean, if he comes out and goes to I mean, hell, let's be realistic. I mean, if he comes out and wins the division this year and takes us to the playoffs, right there, you kind of have to pay him, don't you?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. It depends, like, how he plays through the season. Like, if it's mainly our defense that's helping us win these games, and then, he's getting a couple touchdowns here or there. But,
No,
again,
I'm saying if he
it's
has
going
a
to come down to
legit
how he
season.
improves upon the problems from
No, like
last
if he
year.
has a legit season, like he comes out, throws 3,400 yards, 32 touchdowns, the 6 interceptions,
then I think that
wins the division, like you have to pay him then, correct?
no. Actually, I'm going to say no, because the way I'm
No,
saying
I'm
is that
saying in 2023, you would have to pay him if he
I
would
would
come
see
out.
how he does in the season after that, because he could completely ball out this upcoming season, and then the season after that completely fall off.
Well, yeah, that's true. If he would fall off, yeah. But,
yeah, that's why I would wait till the season after this one, just to make sure that this isn't going to be blowing up in our face, just like the Carson Wentz contract did.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean pay him at the end of this year. By the way,
okay.
I meant when his contract is at 2023. Yeah. If he comes out this year, wins the division, takes us to the playoffs, and then next year does the same thing, you kind of ultimately have to pay him at that point.
Well, I'd just be a little bit more conservative because, last time we had a quarterback and we re-signed him after his rookie deal to a long-term and high-paying contract, it didn't end well for us and eventually became an albatross that we had to find a way to move. And so, we didn't get exactly a lot of great stuff back in return for that. So at that point, I think I'd be a little more cautious going forward. And I'd say, okay, so I would try and negotiate a short-term deal. Like, I'll pay him a little bit more for this short-term deal, and then if it turns out maybe add a clause where if he gets certain milestones over the course of the next 2 seasons, you can turn that contract from a short-term deal, then add on, like another 5 years with additional pay to fill in.
Or literally, just give him lower pay with high incentives. Like, hey, we'll give you, okay, because you've only had 2 years, but you've got us to the playoffs each time. We'll give you what, $20 million a year.
Well,
but
also got to keep in mind that not every player likes that kind of contract setup, because especially in the NFL, they like their money guaranteed. So he's definitely going to want a good majority of his contract guaranteed money. So that's why he's going to want to have a higher base salary. And while he's definitely probably going to want incentives put into that package as well, I don't think he's going to have a heavily incentive-focused contract because he's still young and he could, still be dropped at the dime of a hat.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing, though. I mean, in realistic terms, though, I'm only paying you for what you've done, not what you're going to do. Now if you get to the playoffs 2 years in a row, and say the first year this year, say we make it, you get eliminated the first round hypothetically, okay? And this is all hypothetical, guys. So don't be like, "Oh, the Eagles said we're going to the playoffs." No, never said that. Never.
No, but still, it confirmed. He said it. Clip it, and edit it.
Do not listen to this fucking guy over here.
Nope, it's too late. He said the words.
He's talking out his poop shoot. Okay, like just
There's not enough brand coming out of this poop shoot.
But I'm telling you, like if we would get eliminated the first round, though, okay, and then he comes in the following year and say he gets us to the divisional and loses that. I would guarantee him, like I said, the $20 million. But then, like, all right, dude, if I wouldn't give him $40 million a year. That's ridiculous. Because what we gave Carson, all right, yeah.
See, Chad knows. Chad heard it. Chad clipped it. It's going to be all over Twitter. It's too late.
We're going to the playoffs. Fuck you guys. There you go. Clip it.
There we go. Clip it, chat. Let's go. Trending. I want to see it on the trending.
Trend it. Go ahead. I don't mind. Say it. Put it on my shoulders. I'm a big boy.
Put it on MySpace.
Yep. I'm a big boy. I can handle it all. Send all the Cowboys my way. I'll shut them up. No, but no lie, though. Like, there would be incentives at the end of that. Okay. Because like you don't want to guarantee him the money where you break the bank, but you don't also want to not give him a reason to stay.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, well, I'll give you the 20 million, so I'm not breaking the bank, but you're also getting paid for what you've done for the last 2 years. But I'm also going to give you like, all right, say he wants 30 million. Be like, fine, you want 30, I'll give you 20 guaranteed, but I'll give you 10 million in incentives if you make it to this point into the season.
See,
Like
for
the
me,
conference championship or the Super Bowl.
yeah,
And
like
then
for
if
me,
you
it's
win
all
the
going to come
Super
down to
Bowl,
the
add
length
another 10.
of this contract. That's what it's going to come down to me because I'm not so sure I want to be as quickly as to signing another quarterback to a long-term contract. So I
Yeah.
think that's going to be the hardest part there because we saw Dak Prescott, in his contract negotiations, his biggest hangup was that they didn't want to sign him to a long-term contract, and so they had to franchise tag him after his rookie year contract, or after his rookie contract was up, until they could eventually find some ground to come to agreement on. So my biggest concern is, will there be a little bit of a hard time trying to convince Hurts to agree to a short-term contract, like still give him like the 20 mil, and then but try and get it to a short-term contract just to make sure that this is still the guy, this is who you still want to play for you, or
Yeah,
do you?
no. I think because he is a second rounder and because he's got a good head on his shoulders, I think Jalen is smart enough. At least me as a
Oh
quarter.
shit! The purge has started.
No,
This is your
no.
daily announcement.
But I think Jalen has a good head on his shoulders to the point where he honestly knows that if we pay him, and see, this is why I don't know why quarterbacks don't think of this more. Like for instance, you went out and you paid what did Pat get? 500 mil.
Who?
Pat Mahomes. What did he get? Like 500 mil for 10 years,
Let me take a look.
or what was it? I forget what his contract was, but it's ridiculous. I don't know. It's fucking crazy. But
So
don't
Patrick
you know?
Mahomes is, one more second. He
Yeah,
signed a 10-year deal that is worth $450 million
yeah,
with a $10
yeah.
million signing bonus.
What don't quarterbacks realize? The more money that you take from them, the less weapons you'll get. And I think that Jalen Hurts is smart enough to realize that. I think he'll take a team friendly deal because he knows to be good, you need talent and you need players. Well, to get talent and to get players, you need money. Well, if I'm paying my quarterback $130 million and he ain't doing shit, I'm not getting you talent because all my money is fucking tied up in him. And I think Jalen's smart enough to know that. I mean, he's not stupid. We all know he's not dumb. He's the first quarterback since Michael Vick that I've seen throw the ball away. Hell, we couldn't even get Carson Wentz to throw the fucking ball away.
Nope.
Never once did I see that man throw the fucking ball away. Jalen threw 3 balls away his first start. Like he's not afraid to live to see another day, and I like that about him. So if he's that smart to throw the ball away, you would think he's that smart not to hog the money. Because you would know you don't hog the money, you get more talent around me, I succeed. And all you should want to do is succeed, right?
Well, you would think so, but for, again, a lot of these athletes, especially in NFL, they know that all it takes is one major injury and their entire career comes to an end. And so a lot of them go, okay, so I need to get my money while I still can.
Yeah, well, bro, maybe we'd be able to offer these guys medical shit after they're fucking retired if we weren't paying them $130 million a fucking year.
And I totally agree with that. But again, at some point, the person is going to say, like, look at Tom Brady. For a majority of Tom Brady's career, I keep having to break him up. But for a majority of his career with the Patriots, he had a lot of very team-friendly deals. He wasn't one of those guys that was, in fact, he had a lot of good team-friendly deals with his time with the Patriots. In fact, I'll level check that. But it wasn't
That's why he won all the time, man.
year. Yeah, because it wasn't until his very last year there that he was starting to get a little gypped at how, he's not getting paid the money like he wanted to be. Let's see here. 2002, he signed a 3-year contract worth $866 million. Okay, yeah. So, it's definitely, back considering what quarterbacks are getting paid now, he honestly has not been paid a lot until he signed with the Bucs. His contract
yeah.
2019
Jock makes a valid point there, too. Jock makes a very good fucking point. Read it. He didn't need money. His fucking wife makes bank, dude. You think for 1 minute Tom's worried about money? That is very fucking true.
Yeah, but again, it also comes down to the players want to make sure that their future is, going to be well funded, because the NFL is never a guaranteed thing with how much, because it's more physical than any other league. There's a lot more ways to injure yourself than there is in any other league.
Yeah, but bro, but there's no guideline to the NFL that says that you need to make $200 million and that you need to buy a $2 million mansion. No one fucking.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that they should be doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but they're
listen,
going to want their money, and they're going to keep doing it as long as other people are getting it. If they keep seeing that, oh, well, I'm playing just as good as this guy, and he's getting paid this much, why shouldn't I be getting paid that much?
Well, but that's the thing, though. Who the fuck went out and told these guys, oh, you need to live in a mansion, you need a fucking $200,000 car?
I honestly couldn't.
Whatever happened to fucking a $600,000 house, maybe? What, y'all aren't happy with a $600,000 house? Y'all need a $200 million home, a $2 million home? Dude, for real, you and your wife are the only two that live in that house, but yet you need a 20-bedroom fucking house. Why?
Yeah.
Why the fuck do you need a 20-bedroom house for 2 fucking people? Use your goddamn head.
I'm not saying at all they are spending their money wisely, or I agree with how much they're making, but they're going to keep doing it as long as, there's people that are earning that much and they feel that they play just as well. At this point, there's nothing that's truly stopping them from being able to earn that much, and eventually it's going.
That's because we keep giving it to them.
Yeah, and eventually, there's going to be a problem because of how much they're having to pay these guys. Ticket prices are going to have to keep going up, and eventually, fans are going to get tired of having to spend $400, $500 a ticket just to go watch a team play. And
I mean, you realize if these guys keep getting paid this, we're going to actually have to the government start printing money just for the NFL to pay these guys.
I'm sure Joe Biden would love to do
into the NFL. There's so much money. Yeah, for instance, you got Pat Mahomes out here wanting $500 million. What if Allen comes out in the next 2 years, he wins 2 Super Bowls? This motherfucker's going to want $100 million. What are you going to do then? What are you going to do? He's 25 years old with 2 Super Bowl rings. What are you going to fucking do then?
Yeah, it's going to get – it's a problem. It's going to make a head at some point, man. But I tell you what, though, I'm looking at the clock, and I know I got to be up and ready for work by 5 a.m. So
shit, I'm sorry, dude. It's my day off. I apologize. I lost track of time.
No, you're fine. I lost track of time, too. That's why.
2 hours and 40 fucking minutes.
I know.
And props to Jock, man, hanging in with us this whole fucking time, dude. No lie, dude. Awesome shit, man. Thank you so much for your support, dude. Mad props, mad respect.
Listen, man. Water boys don't just grow out of the ground.
Yeah. I'm just saying, man, there's no need for all that shit. There really isn't. I don't know where we got to the point in the NFL where we needed to start paying these athletes this amount of money, but I'm more important than them, man. No lie. Like my job that I do, yeah, they're here to entertain. They're entertaining 1 day a week. I fucking work 6 days a week. I should get the money they get. You know what I mean? Like we're all sitting here living in poverty, and these guys get to go and play one fucking day out of the week, and they earn way more money than what we do in 10 years.
Or
Like
lifetimes.
even a lifetime, it's just fucking sad. And all they got to do is just go bust someone's head open for 2 hours. Like
Oh, I didn't realize that we were talking about Logan Paul. Oh,
Hey,
I'm
man.
sorry. I'm sorry. I misspeak because Logan Paul can't even land a punch.
Yo, we're not even talking about Logan Paul in that fight.
We'll be here for another hour.
I was so upset, man, because you know what? I was like, Mayweather better knock this fool out.
Same. But you know what? The more I thought about, they're literally just going to do this. The second I saw the rules, I'm like, oh, so they're literally just going to do this as a money grab and then make another one. And then
you know what I fucking
money.
Immediately thought, bro? Mike Tyson's fight. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, another fucking Mike Tyson fight. I was like, come on.
Could you imagine Mike Tyson beating the shit out of him? Out of Jake Paul?
Wait, Jock, who's Dave Winfield? Wait, who's Dave Winfield?
Google.
You're out of my realm here, man. I'm taking it he's a football player.
He is. Dave Winfield. Oh, he's a baseball player. Excuse me.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yes, he used to play right field.
Yankees. Oh, okay. That makes sense, man. I'm not a Yankee
Damn
fan.
Yankees.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry,
Fuck the
man.
Yankees.
Well, I won't go that far. I mean,
I will go that far. Fuck them Yankees.
He said it for me. Hey, Phillies, man. Sorry.
Yep. Phillies.
Hey, I love Babe Ruth, though. But, you know.
You can like him when he was in Boston. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. But, hey, man, I appreciate you staying on here with.
Man, it was fun.
Oh, okay. So, I thought you were a Yankee fan. My bad. Now I feel shitty. Sorry. Personal apology straight to you, sir.
How dare you insult him in this manner? This is
Hey, bro, it can fucking happen. Joe's a fucking Nets fan, and he's an
fans
Eagles
are
fan.
a myth. They don't exist. Have you ever seen a Yankees fan? No, because they aren't real. The Yankees fans are just piles of money.
Bro, there's Yankee fans here in Carlisle. Don't get it twisted. There's Yankee fans in Pennsylvania. I've seen plenty of them.
They disgust me.
Which is really fucking weird. Like no lie, half of the places around here, like if you're not Eagles or you're not Pittsburgh, they're fucking Washington fans. And I'm like,
Washington has fans?
Yeah. I'm not playing. Like I said, my brother, he's a fucking Washington fan. My other uncle is a Washington fan. My cousin's a Washington fan. I'm like,
hold on. We need to run through this again.
No, listen. Back in the 80s and early 90s, Washington used to have spring training right here in my town at Dickinson High School. So I believe that's why there's a lot of fucking Washington fans here, because when they were the Redskins, their training camp was like 10 minutes from my house.
Gotcha.
So I believe that's why there's a lot around here, you know. But yeah, no, I just now I don't ever see Baltimore fans, thank God. I wouldn't know what to do if I saw Baltimore fans. I fucking hate the Ravens, dude. That's why I hate that we got Flacco, because I was never a fucking Flacco fan. I hated him. And, dude, he got so lucky in the Super Bowl win. Everybody can sit there and say, bullshit, he was lights out. Let's be honest. He fucking only won because of that defense. That defense was nasty. It was. It was. There was nothing you could fucking do. Joe Flacco got lucky.
Nothing like having Ray Lewis and Ed Reed on your defense.
Yeah, like, he got lucky that year. Let's not lie. Like I said, he was lights out in the playoffs. There's no doubt about it. But he was only riding that defense.
That sounds familiar. I think I've heard of a Seattle team doing that exact same thing.
So pretty much I have to go back in history and assassinate Dave Winfield from making $1 million so we don't ever get to the point where $1 million is a contract.
That will fuck up the timeline even more. That will have players earning billions of dollars and it costs an entire arm and a leg just to get fucking bad seats at football stadiums.
Yeah, like that.
Or you're gonna fuck up the fucking. Or you're gonna cause some fucking sort of other weird fucking chain reaction. You'll cause the T-Rex to come back.
That's what pissed me off about fucking paying Bryce Harper, man. Everybody was so awesome and all happy about Bryce Harper. I'm like, dude, we wouldn't even play Jimmy fucking Rollins, who was possibly the best shortstop we've ever fucking had. But yet,
don't remind me, man. I love Jimmy.
I know, but dude, we wouldn't even fucking pay Jimmy that amount of money, but yet you go and you fucking pay Bryce Harper that amount of money. And what did that amount of money get you? What did it get?
It led you back to mediocrity.
Exactly. You went out and you paid what
was it? There's a reason I stopped watching Philly games. Every time I do, okay, so the last Philly game I watched all the way through was that Colorado game. If you know what I'm talking about. I mean, that Colorado game. And after that, I said I wasn't going to watch the Phillies for the rest of the season.
Same here, buddy.
But then all of a sudden, they started to win a little bit. And I go, okay, I'll check in and see how they do against the Nationals. Yeah. Then they gave up 3. And the first 2 innings, I go, okay, I'm just going to turn this shit off before I get mad.
Dude, how we're sitting later right now is how I watch the Phillies game.
And I go... I can't with the Phillies. It's not good for me. Not good for me.
No, I feel you, dude. Fucking, I miss Chase Utley. I miss
Chase Utley, Shane Victorino.
Yep, Howard.
Carlos Ruiz.
Yep. Even he's going back old school. Yeah, Mike Schmidt, dude, for real. Oh man. The Duke. You got Dykstra.
Pete Rose.
Yeah, Petey. Can't forget Petey. Even though Schmidt and Petey, I think I was there when I was a kid, but I don't remember seeing them because obviously I was too young. But
yeah,
you know, yeah. But John Kruk was honestly one of my favorites. I loved Kruk. I loved watching Kruk pitch, man. Yeah. I don't know what else to talk about, dude. I'm tired of shit now.
I'm tired of shit too. I'm ready for bed.
I think we hit it.
You know, as soon as this is done, turn off my light. I'm just going.
Right. Yeah, man. Jock, you're bringing up all the good ones, dude. Yeah, like I said, Dutch Dalton, all of them, man. Yeah, they were the guys, dude. Like, I don't know what we're fucking doing in Philly now, but...
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, you bloody drugger.
What?
749, you fucker.
I wish, man. It's almost 11 here. Shit. I wish.
When I'm tired, I get British.
Oh man, yeah, no, dude, this was so much fun. We're gonna have to.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Fucking 3 hours didn't even feel like 3 hours, so that's good.
So, it is until you go, oh shit, I got work.
Yeah, Cali, dude, must be nice. It's fucking humid.
When it's not on fire.
Here. What's that?
I said when it's not on fire.
Yeah, that's true, but still, man, I'd take that over this shit, man. It's always humid here and so.
See that's why I like South Carolina, because it's hot and humid, but it's nowhere near as bad as some other places.
He wants you to say, have a spot of tea.
Oh, I have a spot of tea.
A little spot of tea in a cricket.
Oh, you got a spot of tea? Well, get out my fucking tea shop, you fucking muppet. You damn villain. Kiss me arse.
You've been watching the Peaky Blinders too much, man.
Oi, fuck off. Get out of my kitchen.
You fucking wanker.
Or an idiot sandwich. Fuck off.
Way to go, Jock. Way to go. Now you got him started, man.
I tell you what, eh?
Yo, all right, guys. Listen, it is 11 o'clock. We've been on here for damn near 3 hours. Jock, seriously, I appreciate you, man. Seriously, you've held on for this 3 hours, and I mad props, dude. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you everyone for stopping in. Once again, Tyler, thank you, man. Thank you for coming in.
It's been a pleasure, man.
Last 3 hours with me, and it's been fun, real fun.
Oh, so much fun. I love it.
Too bad I'm too tired. I could do this some more, but we'll continue this some other day for sure.
Yeah, man. Hey, maybe next time I have a day off, we can do it again.
Yes, for sure. Hey, guys, don't forget, please like and subscribe to my channel. First 100 subscribers getting that drawing for that Hurts jersey. So
there you go.
Don't miss out. But yeah, thank you all for joining in with us. 3 hours, awesome stream. Tyler, real quick before we get out of here, any last words? Want to tell them where they can find you, all that?
So you can find me on YouTube. I don't even want to say it because they will never be able to find me. My last name is untypable. No one barely anyone can even say my last name, let alone fucking try and type it. But if you want, you can find me on fucking Twitter sometimes. Maybe sometimes you can see my replies to his tweets, and then you can find me that way. But you aren't gonna find me any other way, man. And fuck the Yankees.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody stopping in. Thank you for all the love and support to the channel. And God bless. But we are getting out of here. We're going to bed. So y'all have a lovely evening, and thank you for tuning in. You guys have a good night. Peace.
Bye-bye.